Hello and welcome to Strixhaven Ilandara. I am your DM, Emerson. With me this evening is Carly, Dylan, Deja, and Alexa. We haven't played for a couple weeks, but we're back and we are ready to rumble. Luckily, I think, anyways, we're going to be able to be a bit more consistent moving forward with playing games. Unfortunately, just life sometimes gets in the way, and we don't quite have enough players who can make a date to play. But we do today, and we're going to move forward with the craziness that's been happening. So, the last time that we left off, we kind of learned that, well, a lot of powerful people decided to kind of manipulate Carathena into telling the group about her sister being a vampire and kind of leading this army that's slowly taking over the neighboring country of Insara. It's been a couple of months, but already her sister, Rayarthena, has managed to take over much of the land. It's a country that doesn't have a very strong centralized government or really much government at all, so it makes taking over these provincial lords a lot easier. Strixhaven is mobilizing against her and kind of did a whole, Carathena, you need to stay here and we'll tell you when it's time to help. But you're quickly realizing they're just kind of saying that so you stay out of trouble. They're going to fucking kill your sister. So you need to go out there and stop that. A couple dragons decided to be like, hey, what you gonna fucking do? And like all of them are kind of sowing chaos in their own way. It seems like Valimachus Lorehold kind of is baiting you to go as an almost I dare you, but you probably bet she's trying to scare you out of going. Because her focus right now is unveiling the Auric, and right now you and your friend groups have kind of been the most effective at fighting and identifying Auric. So it kind of would work against what Valimachus wants if you guys were to leave. Little does she realize that she probably galvanized Carathena's will by accident. So Carathena has sort of realized that she needs a fancy way to get off a campus that won't draw attention. Another dragon, Witherbloom, suggested that you should reach out to either Fane or the Auric to potentially get some help there. And of course, Carathena, if matters weren't more confusing, she got a little bit emotional and seems to have accidentally created a link between herself and a demon lord. This link was facilitated by the strange black shard that she wears in her jewelry from fighting the creepy sort of unalive, not quite undead, but the weird sort of not quite alive entity in the basement of Quandrix. There's so many terms. I keep on forgetting the names of things. Like, I know the names, but I'm like, Lilith, what are you doing, hun? Sorry, my cat is prowling because I have lemonade here, and she's like, that's for cats, right? Yeah, literally, I just moved it, and she's all like, she's a monster, but she's my little monster. Okay, sorry, I get distracted. This demon lord is named Grost, and he's the demon lord of sort of pleasure and, for lack of a better term, debauchery. He is, extreme emotions are kind of his domain. In another continent, he takes the form of Farlagan, who is the god of wanderers. He's a bit more peaceful there, but much more kind of like that drunk uncle who likes to sit back and watch chaos ensue. He was, at least as far as gods go, relatively respectful of Carathena's boundaries. Didn't really barge into her mind too much, but also like proved to be very impatient. And was like, hey, Carathena, I've connected to your brain a few days ago. Let's fucking talk. I want to talk. Let's talk. Come on. And eventually they did. Carathena met him. He essentially said, this is fucking awesome. I haven't connected to someone on this material plane in centuries. This is great. Can I use you as a TV? And then he's like, I'm asking, but I'm going to do it anyways. And then he also revealed to Carathena that he obviously wanted to pay Carathena for being his entertainment. And he promised her power with no strings attached, he says. Obviously, he says you can't trust a demon, but that's what makes them predictable. And he's not going to try to fool you or anything. So long as he's entertained, he's fine. He does say, though, he actually apparently is kind of the father of vampirism. At least he claims to be. And that he might be able to actually help you cure your sister in a way that won't kill all of the thralls that were created in her wake, or won't free them. Because if you kill a master vampire, it will kill all of their thralls. Or if you cure a master vampire, it will set all of their thralls free. Which is a problem, because you just went from one master vampire to hundreds. And he's like, oh wait, no, I might be able to break this, but it will require you essentially opening a way for me. Essentially, from a mechanical standpoint, it will require something akin to a warlock bargain. A thing that you can't take back, regardless of what it is. Doesn't mean it needs to be a level in warlock, but it will be something similar. I'm not going to make you take a level in warlock unless you're wanting to, but I have alternate options that I enjoy. But you recently had that dream and you woke up to just another day at school, which feels kind of surreal, given everything going on. What's also surreal is the fact that every once in a while you quite literally feel like you have an additional passenger in your head. It's kind of like if your internal monologue read as someone else, not you. And apparently only some people have internal monologues, but yeah, I know I have one, so I'm like, I can't imagine a world without it. But apparently like only like,
Silence.
yeah, like 50% of, like, it's a surprisingly large amount of people who don't have an internal, whatever, that doesn't matter. Look it up, it's cool. Also, certain people can't visualize in their brain, and some people can't visualize with color in their brain. You can't? Sorry, I'm fascinated. We don't need to talk about this. I apologize.
No, visualization is like really hard. Like I can't, maybe I shouldn't say I can't visualize. I can't visualize anything that isn't already like in existence, if that makes sense. Like
I get that.
Doesn't work like that in my brain.
That's so fascinating. Sorry, I love how brains work. I can sit and talk about this for like ever. It's like if someone's colorblind or anything, just any different perspective on reality, I'm like, tell me everything. Like I'm just...
Also before you go on, question.
Yeah.
With the like second monologue, is it occasionally like commentary? Like
he will occasionally comment. Yeah, he will occasionally comment. So he's like weirdly hyped about all of your classes. Because it's just, he finds it very quaint. It's like sitting in on a kindergartner's class and you're like, oh, you're learning how to spell. Aww. And so it's a little condescending, but it's also very clearly genuine amusement. So like you almost can't be mad because like he's like millennia old, like centuries old. And it is true. He's like, oh my God, that's what they're teaching? It's like, wow, they've really fallen behind in the times. Or like, wow, that was so like 40,000 years ago. You know, just, but it's not too often. He really doesn't seem, you get the implication that he is commenting, but to others. Like only some of the comments he says to you, right? Kind of like how you could see him, but like not see his environment. It's kind of like that. Right. You can feel him talking, but it's kind of like seeing someone in a movie theater lean over and whisper to someone else. You know they're saying something, but you have no clue what they said. Yeah. And occasionally he kind of steps away and he'll even say like, I'm stepping away for a bit, so if you need to take a potty break or anything. And yeah. But
this motherfucker.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, you now have just this passenger along for the ride who is weirdly entertaining. Because it is true that it does kind of make some of the day-to-day things a little bit more interesting, because you didn't realize how kind of cool it was, I guess. Or how, like, he'll see stuff on campus that you objectively know is, like, a very impressive feat of architecture. And he's like, that's what they're calling architecture? Please. Like, you know, just things like that. Or, like, you're at work, you're making coffee, and he's telling you like things you should add to make it amusing, but like objectively you're trained enough in magic, he's telling you to make like essentially mix arsenic into it, so like it would be amusing but it would be fatal. Like that's not great. And he's like, I jest, but it would be funny. Yeah. After the first day, that evening, he starts telling you about all of his ships he has, of all the students that he's seen through your eyes. And he's like, so we're all in agreement that Rubina has a thing for Imogen, right? Like, we're all in agreement there. No one's that mean without a purpose. Well, I am, but that's beside the point. No mortal. She's like that little kid who doesn't know how to flirt, so she just bullies.
Oh my god.
You know, stuff like that. So, yeah, congrats. You now have a meta narrator in your head.
Incredible.
But yeah, of course he'll like realize you're actually starting to fall asleep. He's like, oh, I'm sorry, I'll be quiet. But it's still a little uncomfortable because you're 90% sure he's watching you fall asleep. Yep. But yeah, so it takes a day or two to sort of get used to this new thing. He becomes much less active as the days go on, a lot less constantly involved. He obviously has other things going on as well. But you guys settle into a sort of classic routine of probably about half the day or so, him tuning in, mainly for the interesting bits. He definitely has helped you cheat on one test, whether you want to or not. He's told you answers. And surprisingly, they were the right answers. Not saying you followed them, but like afterward, and then he will say, here's the thing, if I give you the right answer, you won't know when I decide to give you the wrong ones, and it'll be great. So yeah. He's at least very clear with how he's going to sabotage your academic career. But yeah. The rest of you might notice something with Karithna. I don't know. Is Karithna acting outwardly any different?
Outwardly, so she, most of the time, she tries to ignore him, but she still is actively listening. And so it's very rare that she responds to him like in mind. But when he says like truly out of pocket shit, like that, those are the moments where she's like, wait a minute. So I think like it's been over the course of a few days, and that probably only happens a couple times a day where she truly is like taken
like
out of whatever moment she's
or whatnot. Yeah.
Yes, exactly. And so in those moments, anyone who might be paying attention, if she, whether she's in class or they're having a conversation, might notice that she kind of zones out, but still looks actively engaged in something. Like she's not like zoned out daydreaming.
She's hearing voices.
She's like very clearly distressed. Yes.
She's hearing voices. Cool.
Yes.
And I'll say, because it's, we can have you roll if you'd like as like a DC for people to find. But I'm going to say roll, but no matter what, it's not going to be lower than a DC 15 for people to figure this out, because it's not happening that often. But roll, because if you get higher on deception than a 15, that'll be the new DC.
Okay.
Yeah, but I'm still going to just say that no matter what, it'll be a DC 15 if it's lower than that. I normally don't do that, but yeah. It's a 17 now, so nice. I love it. So yeah, you guys have been spending time with her, so roll an insight check. Even if you're not directly trying to, she's your friend. You guys pay attention to each other. You also know Karathan has been going through a hard time. I imagine all of you would roll an insight at least at some point, seeing how she's doing. That is a 16, Evie. God, that's so close. Oh, that hurts.
Fuck.
That is an 8, Astrid. Yeah, Karathana is Karathana.
Yeah, fair enough. Fuck.
And again, this could just be that you weren't around during one of those moments, right? It
Right.
doesn't mean that you guys are just not paying attention. I'd
We're
argue.
such terrible friends.
Well, I'd argue with Evie. Evie is paying high enough attention that she probably just wasn't around for one of those times. But yeah. Lastly, Ryza, what did you roll? I don't see it coming through.
I rolled a 12. It didn't go through, but
No worries. So yeah, none of you guys notice anything out of the ordinary with Karathana besides just normal emotional duress that you'd expect from finding out that your sister's a warlord. An undead warlord corrupting others. Sorry, I should emphasize. But you know what? I think I should put a little like shadow box around our chat so you can read it better. Sorry, that I don't have ADHD.
Yeah.
But
Totally.
yeah, not at all.
Obviously not.
Yeah, it's why would you ever assume? So you know what? Of all people, because we're already in this sort of vein of fun premonitions and other enjoyable excursions, Ryza, do me a favor. Roll a charisma saving throw. Charisma.
What?
Charisma.
Sorry.
It's charisma.
Uh-huh.
It's kind of fun to say. Please tell me I saved the
Well,
artwork that I was looking for.
I don't know why it's not popping up, but
I'm sure you rolled
Got a
really
14.
well, but it cut out exactly when you said what you rolled. So what did you roll?
14.
14. Okay. So that is you feel anxiety. It's the best description you have for it. In that same way that anxiety can sometimes physically hurt in your chest, where it's kind of that like going down a roller coaster sort of like feeling that of where your stomach kind of rises or tightens. Rises. But
Was that a pun?
yeah, it absolutely was. You have this horrible
It's like
just
red all over again.
it's just this horrible weight in your stomach. You can't quite figure out why. But it feels like something's watching you. And like it's just giving you this painful anxiety. That has this feeling like if you give into it, it would overwhelm you. Sorry. And it shows up about 2 days ago, and that evening it just feels really excessive. I don't know if you'd consider Ryza as someone who's anxious by nature. I don't know if this is something Ryza has felt before or not. But this,
Yeah, she most definitely has anxiety.
yeah, I got the impression that if there's someone in our group who probably has an anxiety, struggles with anxiety, it's probably Ryza. But this is different. This feels, well, this can't help but strike your paranoia a little bit. It feels a little extrinsically motivated. Not just like anxiety from being stressed out from schoolwork or other things going on. It feels like someone is pushing this onto you. Almost like sensing someone else's emotions and it overwhelming you. It's quite the bizarre feeling. You rolled high enough to kind of feel this feeling, but not quite pinpoint where it's coming from or how to kind of tap into it. It does feel substantially stronger when you rest. So when you're trying to go to sleep or anything like that, this anxiety builds. Do you give in to the anxiety, or do you kind of try to manage it and push it down? What do you think Ryza would do?
She would try to manage it. She would try to not deal with it because she doesn't quite know what's going on, so she would be more cautious about it.
That makes total sense. Also, I apologize. I probably shouldn't have had you roll a charisma saving throw earlier. I should have just probably had you roll a charisma check. But regardless, you still rolled good enough. But in this case, I would like you to roll a wisdom saving throw as you resist this anxiety.
So I'm going to use a physical dice, and Deja just kind of watch me.
You're all good. I trust you. You're not cheating the dice roll. You're all good.
We keep freezing and lagging whenever Bill rolls on his for some reason.
I get that. Computers they can smell fear and like to inconvenience. It's their favorite hobby.
Okay, here we go.
Like printers, you're right.
Wisdom, right?
Yes, a wisdom saving throw for me.
So 21 with mods.
12. Oh, okay. I mean, narratively, I'm disappointed, but I'm very impressed. Yeah, you managed to push it down. This thing does not overwhelm you this evening.
Push down your feelings.
Yeah, conceal, don't feel, and you're good. You push it down. The following morning, the anxiety is still there, and it feels like your new baseline is what you felt last night. It's progressively getting worse. Throughout this day, you meet up with all of your friends. You don't notice anything going on with Kaerthana because obviously things are going on with you as well. Now, I would like you to roll a deception check to see if you can keep it from your friends. Or are you even trying to? I should emphasize.
Oh yeah, she's definitely trying to hide that.
I figured, but yeah.
Mm, 13.
A 13. Okay. Again, you guys are all close enough friends at this point that I imagine you guys are keeping tabs on how each other are doing. So why don't you guys roll an insight for me? The only one I'd say who might not, unless she's actively trying, is probably Kaerthana, just because Kaerthana has other things that might be distracting her. But I imagine, again, that was just more so you'd have the option not to roll if you didn't want to. But
yeah. So
imagine...
the reason I would say is because she's trying to pay attention to everyone to make sure they're not noticing her. So that's why she notices what's going on with
That is
Bryce.
such a mood. Okay, I'm gonna move us to Central Campus. I didn't realize we weren't on it. I love that. And it's also great that it's a 20-3. So you guys, again, Evelina, I'm sorry, you don't notice anything. You're
thinking
still,
like sums of a Kinertha, but can't put it too focused.
You're still just so shook by your interaction with Greta from a few days ago in the library. Like, you still can't process that anyone would treat a library that way.
What a mood, though.
Yeah, like, you just can't, like, you're going through your own, like, existential issue.
Which is fair.
Astrid and Kaerthana. Ryza is walking on pins and needles. Ryza is about ready to pop. Like, You're 90% sure Ryza's in a perpetual anxiety attack. Not positive, but pretty sure. Like if Nylor shows up right now, it's gonna be a problem. Like, you know, one of those times. Which means I'm not gonna do that right now. But
Ugly. That would be
Damn it.
ugly.
but yeah, Ryza's not cash money, as the youths say. So what are you guys doing? I imagine as classes kind of end for the day, you guys are probably in your normal hangout shindig, the Bow's End Tavern, where Astron is totally working. Why would you ever assume that Astron isn't working?
100%.
Astrid does not work there. Astrid is the assistant supervisor. Just make sure that folks are doing what they need to be doing and keeping an eye out. That's
I feel like Astron probably does do that, and like Javanesh follows her orders, and then at the end of the shift is like, wait, I'm the supervisor.
You had me try out specifically to be a bartender.
No, I know you are.
About?
You are. You obviously are working the bar, and oftentimes your friends are sitting at the bar. But when you guys have private conversations, you guys always go to your booth in the back corner here.
In the back corner.
But again, for the most part, you guys probably just take up one whole side of the bar, just sitting and chatting, and you know, some of you getting alcohol. Evie probably getting a very sugary juice. I just can't imagine Evie will ever drink.
Honestly,
I can't imagine it.
I
I
feel like most
drinking.
Yeah, I don't think most of our group actually drinks.
Yeah, I feel like
Ryza
the only one
does.
would is Ryza right now is getting shit faced, but
She's already 3 drinks in at this point. Okay.
yeah.
Ooh,
And
well
then,
that's why.
Oh, you are? Cool.
Yeah.
Roll a wisdom saving throw with disadvantage for me.
Holy fuck.
oh no.
God damn it, it's really good, isn't it?
Yeah, 24 with mods.
That's with
Again.
disadvantage? What
No.
the fuck? I chose the
I gotta do it
wrong
one
One more.
Oh, okay. Thank God.
Nice.
23 with mods, so
I honestly, at this point, I think I need to give you inspiration for how good you're rolling, but I'm not. Because I don't want to make my life
Also,
even harder. Yeah.
I'm gonna have to leave in like 10ish minutes. Is that gonna be
Yeah.
okay? Ideal.
Yeah, so we'll take a break when you have to leave. Just say, okay, and then we'll stop there and we'll pick up when you get back. It'll probably be about a 20-minute break for those watching the stream. Yeah, we'll be right back after that. I usually mean to give us breaks, but I just never remember to. So it's good. This time people will be able to like get water and not die for sitting in front of a camera for 4 hours. It's usually 3, but still. What was I? What? Yeah, so you're great, actually. As it totally is known to do, alcohol really helps the anxiety and makes it really manageable. At least in the immediate. Yeah. So, congrats, I guess. When poor choices work out wonderfully, you know? But yeah, it is nice because you're pretty sure Nylor won't come in here because he's a little goody two-shoes who's like not going to set foot in a bar because he can't drink. So like, why would he come in here? A little annoying little butt. But yeah, so Kirthana is Ryza is very noticeably drinking like 3 times more than she should. Javanesh looks over to Astron and does a little like cut her off, like don't pour her more. gesture.
Astrid will just start slowly just giving Ryza drinks that look like the alcoholic drinks.
Yeah, like a mocktail,
but are like mocktail.
yeah. And Javanesh will give you like a thumbs up, and then like walk by you and be like, also like, she's your friend. Figure the fuck that yeah, help her.
I think Astrid would have noticed with a 16.
Yes. Sorry, Astrid noticed with a 16. Yeah, because you rolled a 13. Sorry, my brain couldn't. Yeah,
No,
I was looking in the chat.
it's
I'm
fine,
like,
it's fine.
where is it? And then I remember you.
It's all good.
Yeah, so you would notice. Javanesh rolled a 18, so he actually noticed as well, which is why he did that. But yeah.
Damn.
So Javanesh probably starts chatting with Evie about Greta, because he is a Lorehold student. So probably sees the pain in Evie's eyes of like, I know that's Greta trauma. Lay it on me. And so yeah.
I've been there before.
Yeah.
The birds were talking.
Yeah, so Burbs are over in a corner talking while
You could say they're tweeting.
yeah. Oh my god. So the rest of you,
I'll see myself out.
Wait.
you get inspiration for that, and I hate it. But there's no way I'm not giving you that. Again, I hate it, but it's mainly because I didn't come up with it.
That's my quota for the day. I'm done.
Yeah, I am a jealous bitch, so that's why I'm mad. But yeah, so Karathan and Astrid, Rise is not having a great time.
Mm-hmm. I think at this point, probably by drink number 3, because I think even before drinks, with the anxiety, Kay and Astrid probably had like those eyes where we just both kind of look at each other and look at Ryza. And I think letting Ryza get to the 3rd drink was purposeful, because we're like, okay,
It'll
it's
loosen
time
up
that she cracks. Yes. So I think Kate's gonna do another one of those looks at Astrid and then look at Ryza and just, yeah, she's gonna like put
go
her
in for
arm
the kill. Got it.
on, yeah, she's gonna put her arm on like Ryza's hand, which Kay doesn't like engage in physical contact a lot, but she puts her hand on.
Yeah, that's the
Ryza's
equivalent
hand
of
and
like
just
a
says,
huge hug from Kay.
yes, and it's just like, hey, how are you doing?
I said, "Oh, I'm doing just fine." Takes a big old chug of her drink as she says that. Why? Why do you ask?
Well, most of today and a little bit
Yeah?
before today,
Uh-huh.
you've seemed a little uncomfortable.
Wait a second. Do you play an instrument?
No.
Do you want to learn? I can teach you. You want to learn right now? Who needs to pull out our arguments? Like, here.
Dylan, I'm giving
I
you
can teach you.
inspiration because this is a very believable drunk Ryza. Because let's not forget, Ryza's the one that like is secretly a party animal. When Ryza gets like really blackout, like Ryza goes full hangover.
Tattooed and
Yep.
everything.
Yeah. It's gonna be a face tattoo next time, watch. Ryza wakes up a
Should
tiefling.
we ever get there?
Oh my god.
Ryza may or may not have sold her soul.
You leave Will out of this.
But yeah.
So I say, oh, let me show you how it works.
Oh my god.
Roll performance check. I don't know if it should be with advantage or disadvantage, honestly. So we're just gonna do a normal performance check.
9.
Yeah. You've definitely heard better. Rises definitely has like hand shifted by like one hole, right? So like it's like just slightly off.
To the point where she keeps missing the ocarina, just slightly, just like not completely blowing into the instrument. Oh, she said, "Oh shoot, let me try that again," and misses again. Like, oh, I'm really bad at this. I'm sorry.
Risa. Oh, sorry. Keep going.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say, Risa, please roll another wisdom save for me, with disadvantage. Sorry, I know I'm really pushing this. Like, you're not gonna get out of this without failing, but it's still possible. This will probably be the last one you'll have to roll for the. Deja just shakes her head.
19.
God damn it.
With disadvantage.
Both
Well, the
were
same
19.
thing.
Guys, I don't
my
think you
God.
understand. The DC is 18. Like, that is such a high DC. Even with, like, it was 15 last night, and then it went higher for today, and it's 18. Like, at this point, I'm not even going to hide what it is. Like, this is incredible. Risa really doesn't want to feel her feelings, and it is so impressive. Yeah, okay. You are so into this music that you're teaching Kaerthana right now?
Yeah, we're gonna start singing. Rice is gonna start trying to harmonize, even though she's like not even like close to
So ocarina down now, singing.
that. Yeah, that's
I feel
how
like
plastered
Evie-
she is right now.
I feel like Evie probably knows what's going on now. Or at least knows that Rise is shit-faced.
Yeah, it's just kind of like stares, like, what the heck?
Javnesh
What
lets
can I
out a
say
sigh.
except you're welcome.
Oh no.
Copyright infringement. You chose the worst company to fight. They'll kill us. They'll take us down. I'm kidding now.
You're not even making profit off this stream.
I know. There's 4 viewers.
They'll find a way.
It's
They'll find a
probably
way.
all us. But Javanesh just lets out a sigh of like, I can't believe I have to do this, and starts rubbing his hands together like defibrillator paddles, and
God.
walks on over to Risa and says, "Hey, Risa, what's that?" and points behind Risa.
Oh no.
As Risa turns around to look, he like does the clear and like hits her on the chest, and uses his lay on hands pool to cure you of disease or a poison. So immediately you are sobered up.
shit.
He's a paladin, so technically, yeah. But you are immediately sobered up. And he just sort of clicks his tongue. It's like, I'm sorry, I usually let people ride out the thing, but yeah, now. And he goes back to the bar. And then says to Astrid, she's still cut off. We're not doing more.
Ashton just nods, like you're totally in agreement.
Then Javanesh comes back. Okay, I suppose we could do like 1. But that's it.
Alright. Yeah. No, I agree.
Because there's nothing in the system anymore. But
Yeah.
we don't want anything over buzzed. Let's because it would undermine what we just did. But
Yeah.
okay, good.
Understood.
I got dishes. I gotta go. Why am I doing the dishes? Astrid, go do the dishes.
You sure?
Yes, I'm sure. They're like
She'll laugh,
right
though.
in front of you at the sink in the bar. Like, and he was like moving you out of the way to do them.
She'll laugh and go do it.
Yeah. Again, he's a paladin, man.
I'll be back.
Okay, no worries. This is going to be our break. We'll probably be back on by about 8:50 or 9, I'm assuming, at the latest. Possibly before then, but it shouldn't be too bad. In the meantime, I will say, Kaerthana, You get a little ring-a-ling-a-ding on your sending stone because that's how they work. No, you get a little alert on your sending stone, and you hear your friend / boss, Mina Lee.
I
You don't have to
I
respond.
knew.
You don't
I
have to
knew.
respond,
Mm,
but you can still listen to it, right?
mhm. Mhm.
So you just hear coming through, hey, Kaerthana, I hope you're doing all right. Again, no worries that you haven't been at work. That's totally understandable. But I'd love to chat with you a bit, if we can, as a friend. I'd like to try to help you in, well, I'd like to try to help in whatever way I can. I know that sounds rather vague, but please, can you meet with me in the cafe tonight? No pressure, of course, but I really hope you say yes. And then she'll say strictly
Okay.
confidential. She'll send another that says that because she remembers that she is a reporter.
Because she remembers. Yeah.
Yeah.
Kay is going to just send back. Yeah, I'll be there.
You get the equivalent of like a heart emoji back. Which I guess it's psychic, so it's kind of just like the emotion of gratitude and friendship. But yeah,
Mhm.
we'll leave it there for now. And yeah. We'll take a break. I almost hit end stream. That's not what I okay.
Ooh.
Vi
no.
just ends it. Okay. So yeah.
Sessions, part 1 and 2.
I've done that once before, and I think part 1 was like 15 minutes long. But I think it's because my internet crashed, if I'm remembering correctly.
Damn.
Yeah, part 1 has nothing in it.
Oh, I should just delete that then. Well,
Oh my god.
look at me managing our content. I don't. If yeah, you're wondering, I should. Bye. Sorry. We will be back. We're not gone. We will be back. Yeah. Okay. Hey, we are back and we are ready to rumble. Thanks for sticking with us. Sorry, I just like messed up speaking there. Thanks for, I like choked on my own tongue because apparently. So yeah, we are all back. We are ready to rumble, and Ryza is just got sobered up and is kind of being confronted. The anxiety is pretty bad. Now that you're sober, it hits you full force. Roll me another wisdom save. I'm forcing this. I don't have to, but it's also like the thing I plan for Ryza. So if we don't do this, then Ryza doesn't have a lot going on. So
No.
that's a lie.
17.
The DC was 18 still,
Close.
so technically, you feel something snap. Feel like I guess the best way to put it is, instead of the usual sort of like emotional overwhelm and then you'd break into like cathartic sobs or anything like that, it builds and then that break just dissipates into pure calm. You feel utterly in control, and for lack of a better term, you feel empowered. For those of you looking, Ryza, her eyes might be glowing just a little bit. Just a little bit. But as Ryza moves, there's like just the slightest like trail of light from her eyes. Kind of like if you move a flashlight around on a camera. But yeah, Ryza, the anxiety is given way to just utter calm, and I guess the best term is assuredness. All of the sudden, you are very, very sure of yourself in particular, which you can recognize as weird. Not that you don't feel assured of yourself, but you're well aware that the transition from that to this is not natural. Something is affecting you externally. And it's almost like it was pushing its way in and causing this anxiety, but now that it's in, it's reassuring you, almost. It's bolstering you. You all watch as Ryza just looks like she's about to break down, but then just kind of stands up straighter. You feel great.
It's just kind of looking around. It hasn't felt. It's never been better than ever. Just how she's feeling. Like she's just like, wow, this is the most calm I have felt in a long time.
You feel, well, not feel, you hear a voice echoing all around you, bouncing off all of the walls and just quite literally resonating the world around you. Only Ryza hears this.
We must speak. Come into the light.
The world is vibrating with this, much like if you were in a club and standing right in front of the speaker. You feel it resonating in your chest, in the ground. You even see the glasses shake and tremble with the words. Everyone else, Ryza's all looking around a little weird. I did a voice modulator there, but I don't know if it worked. Okay, cool.
It worked.
Cool. Could you understand what I was saying? Okay, good.
Mhm.
Yes.
I'm trying to get better with them. Okay.
Okay.
Who said that? Where are you? Why can't I see you?
Again, Karithna went from looking like she was having a panic attack to being very sure of herself, her eyes kind of glowing, and now Fuck. I said Karithna because I was looking at Karitha's name. And then Ryza went from panic attack to very assured, eyes kind of glowing, and now talking about hearing voices.
Oh, no.
Just giving you full context, right after she was sobered up.
Yeah.
He's gonna start doing like ritual cast identify. Just,
So again, that's a 10-minute spell. Evie pulls out a piece of chalk and starts drawing a big like pentagram in the middle of the room. With a very like, here we fucking go again, kind of like.
Oh my god. Kay is like squeezing Rye's hand at this point. Like she still had her hand on her hand, but now she's squeezing it. She's like, Ryza, are you all right? Who are you talking to?
I was just gonna say, you don't hear that? Somebody just said, "Come find me. We need to speak." You don't hear that. You didn't hear any of that.
Ryza, as you finish speaking, the world rumbles again.
Step into the light so that we may speak.
Oh, okay, where's the light?
Karithna, someone leans forward in your mind, very interested. Like you get essentially the equivalent of like the leans forward grabs popcorn. And
like
then
Evie's going faster, and I was like, oh god.
Karithna, I want you to roll an insight check for me.
Okay, I feel like at this point she kind of has an idea of what's going on, but yeah, I'll roll your insight check.
You can roll it with, no, not with advantage. I want to, but no, not with advantage, just normal insight. You don't know him that well yet. That's a 5. Yeah, you don't get any more information than what I told you, unless you would like to use inspiration.
No. I just meant, I don't know what you were going to get with the insight, but at this point, Kay is kind of seeing parallels of what happened to her a few days ago and what's going on with Ryza. So she's just kind of sigh as she sees like Evie doing all of the chalk, like really like preparing for the spell. And she, at this point, she's like knows that Ryza can hear her, but isn't responding to her because of what's going on. Kay's just gonna say, like, try to squeeze her hand again and say, Ryza, it's gonna keep happening until you go.
Yeah. Essentially from Grost, you get the equivalent of like a yas snap at what you're saying. But yeah.
Alright. Ryza kind of gets the hint that, yeah, this is probably not going to stop, so Ryza's like, okay, okay. So Ryza heads towards that light. Enters the light.
Yeah, so there is no visible light.
Okay.
It's just the normal thing. It is still day outside. Maybe that's what they mean. Or, you can go stand under a chandelier or something. But, no.
So we don't know what that light is.
You don't know what this light means. The whole building is rumbling. But, yeah. You can roll if you want a hint, or you can try your shot at figuring out what they mean by it.
So Ryza is gonna ponder this. She notices there's no light around, so that's why she's like, "What light?" So Ryza's just gonna.
Oh, I was gonna say you hear no response, so that's not helpful. So keep going.
Like, Ryza thinks about it. So it is daytime outside, right?
It is daytime.
Middle
still.
of the day.
Yeah, I mean it's
Ryza's
early afternoon. Class is over. It's like 3-4 in the afternoon, kind of.
The sun's still out, basically,
yeah, exactly.
Right? Like the sun's still. Okay, Ryza's gonna step outside into the sunlight.
The moment you step outside, your feet touch down into sand. You look behind you, and it's just the door to the tavern, in the middle of a field of sand dunes. It's almost as if you were teleported away. You might be able to very like TARDIS door, if you know Doctor Who, where it's like just a whole other world inside is the tavern, and then here's just the door, and you're in the middle of a desert. And looming ahead of you, in the sky, is this figure. An angel. Utterly beautiful. Flecks of gold and stone ruins drift through the air around him as he essentially shines with the radiance of the sun before you. He touches down on the ground in front of you. To the rest of you, Rise is just kind of standing in the doorway. She kind of stepped out and she's just kind of staring at the sun. Not even kind of, she is staring at the sun.
Your eyes.
Well, correction. Why don't you guys roll a insight check? I mean, if it's a perception. Insight. No, we've done a lot of insight. Let's do perception. Perception check.
Would Evie be able to do this, or because she's
Oh yeah,
concentrating
I'm
on
sure
ritual?
Evie probably, like, Ryza started walking out, probably stepped like right in the middle of your ritual circle, and you're like, God damn it. And then, you know.
Apparently not. Not according to the roll.
Cool. Yeah, so Ryza stepped in the middle of your ritual circle, scuffed a little bit of it, and that's what you're fixing. But, perception. Yeah, okay, so yeah, it just, Ryza's staring up into the sky.
Oh no.
Yeah, potentially
We'll
right at
make
the
sure
sun.
she
You
doesn't
don't really
disappear.
know. It's very,
Okay,
you know.
yeah. And nothing else is noticed, but Kay knows that she woke up after she talked with someone else, so she's just standing right behind Ryza in the event that Ryza's body drops.
Okay. So if you're standing right there, you can roll perception again, so with advantage.
Okay. Okay.
Can Astrid just walk up and stand next to Kay?
Yeah. You can also roll with advantage because you're standing right next to Kaerthana and Ryza.
Okay.
So with the 10, you can't really make out where Ryza's looking, partly because her eyes are blazing with a golden light. You don't see any pupils anymore. It's just golden eyes burning and blazing. Astrid, you can depict where she's looking, and she is gazing right at the moon. Not the sun, but the moon. Specifically the smaller of the two moons. The silver moon, Aina. And she is just staring right at it. Her eyes have this golden light to them. Yeah. Ryza.
Yes.
You stand in the midst of this desert. There's this dry heat around you that should be uncomfortable, but is weirdly comforting. Much like wrapping yourself in the warm clothes fresh out of a dryer. This figure before you exudes power, but in a way that's almost comforting. Nothing about this feels malicious. In fact, it's kind of the nurturing energy of a parent. It looks at you and tilts its head. You see this sort of halo-like structure around its eyes, fractured and almost looking like tears. I can pull up the artwork again if you would like. I don't know if it closed on your side, but there you go. The figure stands before you. They're easily 8 or 9 feet tall. They kneel down so that they're eye level with you. Ryza, chosen emissary of the divine. He bows his head toward Ryza. It is my honor to meet you.
Yeah, it's nice to meet you too. I have a question though. What do you mean by the divine? Chosen divine.
He reaches out and places two fingers in the center of your chest over your heart. As he does this, you feel this pulse of energy, almost like another extra heartbeat, a little palpitation of strength. You are Asama, chosen by the divine, blessed with our power and purpose. You have a destiny to fulfill. Pretend like I didn't mispronounce the word fulfill. Yeah, so you have a destiny to fulfill. One that is difficult, but necessary. Oh, my child, should I wish it, I oh so do that I could take your place, but unfortunately only one with your gifts, the gift of mortality, can do what needs to be done, can bring peace and order.
Peace and order, but I'm just Ryza. I don't meet this responsibility. Are you sure I'm the right?
You have never been
mortal?
just Ryza. From the moment of your birth, you have been marked, both internally on your soul and externally. You are the chosen to enact the will of the divine. You are our messenger, but most importantly, you are our harbinger. It is you who has the power to bring about a new world order. Not one of malice, but one of peace and prosperity. Evil stirs in the dark. You have the power to make sure there is good to meet it.
How do I do that? None of this is making sense to me.
They smile gently and caress the side of your cheek, much like a parent might. I wish I could tell you more. But alas, only now has the boundaries between our realities grown thin enough for me to reach out to you. I am supposed to be your guardian and protector, and yet only now have I been able to reach you, my child. For this I am sorry. And I'm even... Oh, yes, I'm sorry. Continue.
I'm sorry. I'm. It's a lot to process, but I think there's one thing I haven't asked you yet. Oh, what do I call you?
I have had many a name. For you can call me Polaris, your guiding light.
Okay, Polaris, my guarding light. So you've been trying to reach me this whole time?
It has been impossible. In fact, there have been many a divine emissary crafted and placed in your world, and yet you are the first and only whom we have been able to contact in over 3,000 years.
Whoa. How were you able to do that then?
They wave their hand over the sand, and you see a tiny model of sorts extrude up from the sand. The little pebbles shifting and combining to form grains, pebbles, shifting and to form a tiny miniature exact replica of Strixhaven. A single spire raises from the center of 3 of the campuses. The figure points at the 2 without a spire. The lock that separates your world from mine has been weakened. With each additional lock removed, our connection grows, but so does the influence of the lower planes and the influence of calamity. While they have agents working to enact their vision on the world, you are our only agent to enact positive change.
Are you referring to the Oryx?
The Auric have set in motion something that was destined to occur at some point. These locks cannot remain forever. It is best to break them on your terms, as opposed to let them fall when you are not prepared. Perhaps you can strengthen them again, but they will break. Eventually. Maybe not in your lifetime, but eventually. With 2 of the locks gone, agents are in play who will work diligently and tirelessly to remove the remaining 3.
Okay.
You can decide to release the outer planes on your own terms, or strengthen it. Either way, you protect the people.
I think I understand what I must do now.
You have a choice before you. You can herald divinity and return us to your world, or you can seal it off and leave it for another divine emissary in the future to address. What say you?
I say, I think I need to find those 3 locks.
Polaris smiles at you. I am so proud of you, my child. Once the locks are freed, I will be able to help you further bring about our return. He points up at the sky, and you see a silver moon. You recognize it as Aina. That harbors great evil, locked away. What are the spires made of, child? They glisten, silver and metal, do they not? Look upon the moon. Is it not crafted from moon silver as well?
Yes.
It has the power to bind. It is important that when we lift the lock, we keep the moon in its place in the sky.
Okay. Make sure the moon stays in its place.
This is a difficult task, I know it is, but You will have aid once the final lock is removed. Then I can lend you my power, and you will be... well... They call some of the beings who walk your world demigods, but you in truth will be what they only pretend to be. Divine. They extend a hand to you. Do we have a deal, my love?
Ryza ponders, looks down, and then looks up and says, extends her hand and says, yes.
They shake your hand. You are so powerful. All you have to do is believe in yourself and the destiny that lays before you. Polaris smiles. You are our morning star. And you have so much power. I'm so proud of you. As you blink, the sand whirls into a sandstorm, and suddenly you're standing outside, all of your friends around you, looking at you confused.
Ryza takes a minute to get her bearings again, realizing that she's back home. Well, in reality, that as she knows it, and she looks at her friends and explains Polaris and explains what they discussed, what she thinks she might need to do now.
Deja, roll an insight check.
Also, how long was the interaction?
That long. So that was in real time. I know, I'm so sorry. That was in real time. So all of the time that Ryza was talking with Polaris, Ryza was just standing there staring at the moon.
Was that less
that
than
was
11
long
minutes?
enough for you to cast Identify.
Right as it stops.
Pretty much, but you'll get it, like you're seeing it's fading and you're like, oh shit, and then yeah. So Identify allows you to detect, well, I guess in this case it'd be more of a detect magic situation, but we'll use Identify in that way. Identify allows you to identify magic items and if there's curses or anything like that. Hold on, read the spell Identify to me if you have it open. Also, Deja, what was your roll? A 14. I'm actually going to roll opposite you and see. But
There we go. Choose one object you must touch throughout. Oh, throughout the casting of the spell?
You're fine.
Okay.
Do you have detect magic?
Oh, no.
No worries. We'll say in this case you were touching Ryza. It's fine. You're a wizard. You know how to do this, so I'm not going to be super crazy about this.
Okay. Learn its properties. How to use them. Whether it requires attunement use. How many charges. Learn whether spells are affecting an item. What they are. Did not read this. All right.
You're fine. I think do you have detect magic as a wizard? Is it an optional spell? I believe it is.
I want to say so because I have dispel magic.
You have dispel.
So
detect. To be fair, you work at the library. I have no doubt that this could have been the opportunity for you to be like, oh shit, I have a spell that I might know. Flip through library books, frantically start trying to cast detect magic. So pull up detect magic for me. And we'll say you can even add this to your spell book because again, as a wizard, you can add spells to your spell book, and I haven't been doing that enough for you, especially considering you're at a literal magic school. So you should be getting more spells anyways. So as long as you can add it to the wizard's spell book, you can have detect magic and say that you cast it now. Deja. Grost leaves in a hurry.
At what point in the interaction?
Okay, so you rolled high enough that when the name Polaris is mentioned, Grost is very acutely interested in a way that feels a lot more involved than the casual like I'm happy and watching. All of the sudden you're like, oh, this is a man listening to intel from a general. Like it takes on a whole different energy. And then when the story is done, he leaves with purpose. You can try to stop him, but he is leaving with purpose.
Carrington is not gonna try to stop him at this point. She realizes it's bad, but she's probably gonna go try to address that at a later moment. She's not gonna try to stop him.
Putting a pin in that.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, that's that. But he does not say anything to you. It seems like you, at this point, were literally just the window and he almost forgot that you exist as he's, changing, doing something, right? This has enacted him to act and nothing has before. But yeah. Do you have detect magic, Carly?
I'm able to get it, yeah.
Okay, cool. We can have you cast that. Let's look at it. This is a first level spell. For the duration, you sense the presence of magic within 30 feet of you. You can use your action to see a faint aura around any visible creature or object that bears magic, and you learn the school of magic. It can penetrate most barriers, but is blocked by 1 foot of stone, an inch of common metal, a thin sheet of lead, or 3 feet of wood or dirt. So when you cast this, you actually can detect magic all around you. None of your party members have any kind of magical aura on them, except Ryza. Ryza has the aura of a divination spell on her. But I will add, Kaerthana has no aura of a spell on her.
Okay.
I will also note that all of the jewelry that Syntax made for everyone has the aura of necromancy to it.
Oh. Interesting.
All of them. It's not quite as well defined as other things. Because they don't feel like there's a spell cast on them so much as they just have innate magics that seem to align with the school of necromancy. Like calling it necromancy is even a stretch. It's more so just it has a little bit of, for lack of a better term, anti-life to it.
Gotcha.
But yeah, there you go.
Sorry,
Astrid.
I was very like, need to identify as like, did I read that?
You're good. Identify is a very important spell to have. And detect magic is also incredibly helpful. But yeah. Astrid, is there anything you would like to do in all of this after hearing this explanation, seeing where Ryza was staring, anything like that?
Would Ryza have already mentioned anything about the moon? Or maybe not.
I think Ryza explained everything that happened. So
she spilled everything.
I appreciate that. On a side note, let's just talk about how Ryza is ride or die with her friends, and I appreciate that. Ryza fucking trusts you guys. This is some good shit.
Hell
Okay.
yeah. Ryza,
Yes.
while I guess you were speaking with them the entire time you were staring at the moon, please pretend Asher
Yeah.
remembers the name.
You're good. It's Aina.
Hilarious.
Ayna.
Oh, I know.
I know.
Yeah. Polaris said that moon holds a great evil that should never be released.
Oh,
So that doesn't sound good.
I would agree.
He mentioned 3 keys that have yet to be unlocked, and that pieces of the moon are in there, and that we need to make sure that the moon doesn't move.
With the spires?
Yes, the spires.
Evie,
Mm.
your spell, so sorry, happened at the end of all of this.
Mm-hmm.
So, technically this isn't oh, never mind. I'm looking at so there was divination magic, but as the divination magic fades and Ryza comes back out, during the whole explanation, you're starting to pick up the faint hints of something else. There is also, and it's very faint, enchantment magic on Ryza. Again, it is very faint. You can roll an Arcana check if you would like to figure out more about it. Continue. Sorry, I forgot that technically would also have a trace.
During the conversation in general, I think they would have tried to start heading towards like a more
Secure
quiet area as it is. Yeah, secure, yeah. So we're more private.
Okay.
Go ahead. I saw that the Arcana popped up. Go ahead.
Nice.
You have you notice the enchantment aura is lingering around Ryza's hand.
Huh.
It's weird. It's focused on her hand.
Mm. Should probably say, did they give you anything when you were talking at all?
No, he knelt down in front of me, and then we touched hands, but he never gave me anything.
Which hands did you, which hand was it?
My right hand.
Is the right hand glowing?
Yes, it is.
Oh.
What?
Again,
Thank
only
you.
to Evie.
Yeah.
This is only glowing to Evie.
What the hell?
I think he might have given you something.
You think so?
I think so. I'm detecting a little, I'm detecting some enchantment on your hand.
That is, you know what? A 19 is very high. Roll one more for me.
Oh boy. Ooh,
Charisma.
13.
That you can use inspiration if you would like, but it's not vital, obviously, if you do or do not. But you do not get any additional information with that.
Mm-hmm. Feel like maybe I'll save my inspiration.
That's fair.
Afraid.
Yeah, it's incredibly faint. You have a feeling if you were not so highly trained in magic, you would not have noticed it.
I could kind of see it Was I? But it's very faint, so I can't really tell what exactly is going on.
Oh, okay. Well, that's weird. Yeah, he didn't give me anything, but I guess maybe we'll find out later, I suppose. Like everything else.
Sorry. You're not wrong. But yeah.
Ew.
Once we get to whatever more secure area, Kay's been listening to everything that Rise has been saying and has been like kind of like kicking herself, like because she obviously at this point wants to like share with everyone, but she also like feels some type of way about the fact that Ryza just met an angel and she's had like a demon in her head. So she's kind of feeling like some type of way about that. Like, why is
Like, you're like, am I
that the way things
jealous?
work out? Yeah, like she's like, what does that say about me that
Yeah.
Ryza saw an angel and I have a demon in my head? So she's a little thrown off by that.
Yeah.
But so she, once they've gotten to whatever secure location, she also confesses majority of what happened to her with Gross. The only part she doesn't address is the part about him potentially taking over her body to help with the whole vampire situation.
But you address that she can like watch and listen in.
And she does that exactly because then she says to Ryza, she says, Rai, if you see Polaris again, if you're visited again, you have to warn them. You have to tell them that the lower planes know and are preparing for exactly what they're preparing for.
Ryza, you feel a blast of heat surround you. Effectively a conflagration, where before the warmth of the sand felt comforting, this time it feels hostile. In a moment, you are back standing in the desert. The rest of you see as Ryza's just like, you're talking and then all of a sudden Ryza like goes stiff, eyes glowing. Very like, what's that music video? Like Turn Around Bright Eyes or whatever? Where it's like all the kids with glowing eyes. It's horrifying. It also doesn't help that this probably happened halfway. No, you're in a more private area. We'll say you're in one of your guys' bedrooms. Does that work? Maybe back in Kaerthana's bedroom? Yeah, so Ryza was like sitting down and she stands up stiff and just staring. Yeah. Ryza.
Awesome.
You're in the middle of the desert again, and Polaris is there, and you see a look of just concern on his face. The heat is no longer uncomfortable, but it seems like whatever transition that got you to this way that you're speaking to him might have been done slower and more like kindly the first time, and this time was, oh fuck, come on. So you get the feeling that it's like the pain probably was not intentional, but just a side product of, you know, being a little feeble mortal. But yeah.
Probably understands a little bit why that might have happened. Like she's like, oh crap. The fact that now we have this demon that can just listen in on us. It's like, oh shit.
The Polaris looks at you and shakes his head. I am sorry. I do not usually have the ability to listen in. But luckily, I continued to watch to see how you would handle the situation, and as I was leaving, I overheard. He takes your head in both hands. Ryza, it is of the utmost importance that whatever that demon tells your friend, you do not believe him. Demons are masterful manipulators. They make devils look tame. Devils have rules, demons do not. Even the devils fight them. He may help, and you may genuinely get aid from him, but do not trust him. Know that he will seed dissent and unrest simply because it amuses him. Grost seems like the safest of the demon lords, but he is by far the most dangerous. Because he lulls you into a sense of security. Your friend is in great danger, but I believe that so long as she has you and her friends by her side, you can help her get through this and perhaps even come out with power and no real lasting repercussions. But I am telling you now, Grost will return to your friend with some convoluted tale and try to find a way to make you allow the moon to lower. He will say that I am deceiving you. He will try everything in his might to make you not trust me. I understand that you do not know me and that I know you well, and that me asking you to trust me is no more sane than you trusting Grost, so I implore you to use your judgment. Eventually, insight? Go for it.
Yeah.
They seem very, very frantic about this. Or not frantic, but intentional. What did you roll?
17.
A 17. Nothing they said is a lie. They seem genuinely to believe what they are saying. Grost will tell you things about me. It is up to you to decide if you believe them or not.
Okay. I understand. I'll make sure to remember this, Valeris.
I am by your side. And just know that whatever you choose, I will always be there as an option for you to fall back on. Remember, you agreed to help us bring in the divine. I do hope you still stand by that, but I understand if you do not.
I do.
I will bring you more information at a later date. Good luck. I will see if there is a way to unbind Grost from your friend.
Thank you.
He bows his head to you, and then stops for a moment, and then turns around. My scepter. If I give it to you as a token of good faith, will that help you trust me more? Or would that seem like a bribe? He just smiles. Perhaps next time I see you.
Perhaps, yes.
I'm still trying to understand mortal mindsets. Gifts and boons can be misconstrued. For now,
yes,
know that you have my heart, and I hope that is enough. The sand dissipates, and you're standing amongst your friends again. Again, it took that long for that conversation to happen. Is there anything you guys would like to do while that is happening? Carathana.
Yeah.
What's going on your end?
For one thing, I just want to express that Carathana would have mentioned the whole jewelry thing during the conversation.
Mm-hmm.
She has already stopped wearing hers and would encourage everyone else to stop wearing theirs.
Okay.
You're I mean, like, yeah, there's some
Yeah.
necromancy kind of like stuff on that. Not necessarily necromancy, but yeah.
Negative negative plane energy is the best way to put it. But essentially, it feels kind of abyssal. Is kind of a good way to put it. It kind of feels like the abyss a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah.
Is there anything any of you guys would like to do while that is happening? Besides Karithna being like, let me take those, and like stuffing them underneath her bed.
Oh. Yes. Since they're in Kay's room, and at this point, Kay still hasn't felt like the door opening or felt like Grost is present. Kay is going to give the small book that Tavash gave her to Evie.
Evie's villain arc? Okay, sorry. I've been waiting for this. I've been waiting for an excuse to corrupt Evie this entire game. Okay, keep going. I'm so
which
over
book
the
was this
moon.
again?
The book of Damagoth Secrets.
Oh.
Yeah, that Tavash gave to her. She's gonna give it to Evie and say, I don't think with this outside force potentially even corrupting me that I should have access to this. Because I have no idea what he would be able to do with me having that. And it might be nothing to him as a demon lord, but it might be everything to him. So I'm giving this to you to keep safe.
Take the big book, say that you can trust me.
Karithna, you feel a presence in your mind, except whereas before it felt like it could maybe sneak in and out and like sometimes be there, and you're like, oh, I didn't realize it was there. It's almost as if the door now has squeaky hinges. So as he enters, it is very aware, pushing the stone door open, or the door with the really squeaky hinges, if we're going to stick with the door analogy. You are smart enough to realize it could be because you distanced yourself from that jewelry. You still have the connection, but now it is, you are acutely aware when he is tuned in. There is no question when he tunes in or not. And you have a feeling it would probably work the other way as well. You hear frustration in his voice, thinly masked. Is something wrong, Kaothana? Why is it so difficult to connect to you? Don't tell me you're not a fan anymore.
This is another one of those moments where
talk
she's
right now. You're with your friends. I get it, but it hurts a little bit.
another moment where she's just going to ignore him, which shouldn't be a huge deal for him. She does it most of the time, but another moment where she just...
I would like to clarify why I stormed off in such a hurry. My brother is something that irritates me. Yes, I will take your silence as a, oh my goodness, revelation. Polaris is my brother, and it's one of the many names he goes by, one that I don't think your plane is familiar with. If only I knew what name you did use for him. Vile little wretch. He makes me look like a saint. I wouldn't trust anything out of that snake's mouth. But, of course, you're not going to trust anything out of my mouth. So this might be a rather fun little game between us. And things just got so much more interesting, Kaethana. I'm utterly enraptured. Rapture. Funny. Go speak with your friends. I think she's coming out of it. Yep, her eyes aren't glowing as much anymore. Go talk. You're good. I am going to be here though, for the foreseeable future.
Once Ryza is like no longer under the thrall, Kaerthana is going to say, before you say anything, I think the three of you should go and talk. Anything that he tells you, you can't trust to me.
Rude? Fair, but rude. Here, how about this? I'll give you 15 minutes. Does that work, darling? 15 minutes. You feel him leave, and the door closes.
Oh my god.
And then it pops open again. Again, it squeaks really loud. He's like, again, you can't say I don't do stuff for entertainment. It's way more fun this way. And then he closes the door again. Again, you're fairly confident that he's not there. With that ring not there, you don't think he can be particularly sneaky about it.
Okay.
You can
Does
sorry.
Kaerthana feel like when he's in her brain, it really is only present? It's not like rummaging around?
No. And again, it feels like any possibility to rummage around, if that was possible, is definitely not possible without that ring there. If he can't even come into your brain without you knowing. You can roll an Arcana check if you really want to be sure. But at least superficially, you are pretty damn sure. The power difference of that ring is incredible. It's like trying to cast a spell with a bare hand or a wand.
Okay, yeah. No, along with the fact that if he hasn't been like commenting on like past traumatic experiences or things that have happened to her, like she's kind of like gotten the idea that okay, he is here and
he'll ask you like he grilled you about the history between Rubina and Imogen. Yeah. If he could go through your mind, he'd know that like Rubina even tried to sabotage a date you were on. Like when you told him that, he probably would have been like, "Girl, spill the tea." You know.
Okay.
Yeah. He's absolutely that catty bitch, by the way. He's absolutely okay.
She's gonna turn to everyone and go, "Okay, actually, it's all right now, but I'll let you know if it's not."
Okay. Ryza is hesitant, but like, Kay's my friend, and I can trust her when she says these things. So Ryza just kind of goes in to say that the demon inside of you, he told me that we should not trust anything he says at all. And from the sounds of
Ryza's just
it,
nodding. I mean, Kaerthana, sorry, fuck. Deja was just, I'm having a hard time. Keep going.
You're doing great.
You should go to bed soon, Emerson.
No, that nodding is honestly Kay. It's not even just Deja. It's Kay.
I know.
Like,
I loved it. That's why I was like you'd think you'd be like, no, maybe no. You're like, you haven't even met Polaris, and you're like, I'm Team Polaris. But yeah, okay, keep going.
And I assume that he said the same thing about Polaris, just judging from what Polaris said to me. What's his name again?
Grost.
Loki. So yeah, that Ryza feeds all that information to the rest of the group, and that we need to not believe what Grost says.
Do you mention that you were also offered a divine artifact?
Yes.
Okay. Ryza, Kaerthana's just like, oh fuck, I wasn't offered a.
And why didn't you take it? Listen, Kay over here is like, I have a demon in my head. You had an angel try to give you something. Like, why?
Why does this
Oh,
happen to us? Why
well-
can't this happen to anyone else?
Literally, sorry.
Like, well, I don't know, he made it seem like that he's gonna see me again soon, and he said he would give it to me then. But he said he says he will look into getting rid of the stupid demon in your head. That's all the information that I have. Is everyone okay?
You're the only non-magical
So
person
much.
here, just eyes going back and forth like a tennis
Astron's like,
match.
I
Just
can do
looks-
stuff with my mind. So that's pretty cool. You guys can't do that. So fuck you all.
So much information in a short amount of time. Why?
So it's
That doesn't
now
matter.
at this point where Riza mentioned getting rid of. Wait, okay, before I say this, Emerson,
Yes.
this is mostly a player question.
Mhm.
When we had our last session and Grast mentioned his brother who he couldn't stand, did he say his name?
I don't believe so.
Okay, great.
I
Thank you.
could
'Cause
be
I remember him
incorrect, but I don't believe so. If he did, that was not intentional. I was trying to set plot threads for this. So if I did say a name, that was not intentional. So I don't believe I did.
Okay.
Yeah. But he did mention a brother he
Okay.
can't stand. And from his intonation,
Yes.
it's this fucking guy.
Okay.
This is this fucking guy.
Yeah.
This fucking guy.
Kay is
Bitch.
finally going to spill the last bit of information that she didn't prior about him potentially being able to help with her sister and not killing everyone. Yeah. Yeah.
So Rice's head exploded hearing all this.
Well,
Like, are you fucking
So I don't know if I actually want him out of my head yet.
Oh.
Can we trust
well-
him now?
I can respect that.
I don't believe that I can trust him, but I don't have many options between a demon and a Demagoth and killing my sister. I don't. I was hoping to ask Tavash when he finally gives us that potion what he thinks, and he might not think anything of it.
And a reminder, the potion is to be able to cure your sister.
Yes, but
Sorry, no, that was me
still,
saying as a reminder, it's to cure your sister. But
Yeah.
doing
to
so would
cure
free
her.
all of the people she's changed.
Exactly. We're bringing all the options with us. We just don't know
Yes.
which one yet. But yes,
Fine.
yes. It's
Okay.
to cure her and her alone, and then release all of the vampires who
Mhm.
are not only in her thrall, but probably surrounding her, which would then be surrounding.
Yep.
So.
Pretty much.
Nice.
Happy we're all on the same page.
We're all cut up here. Everything's
fine.
out in the open.
Everything's a mess.
We're fucked.
Rice just has this look on her face like, well, fuck, I don't know how to help you right now. But then Rice is gonna think, well, maybe Polaris can think of something. Next time I see him, I'll ask him. Is that okay?
Yeah, I mean, if you were almost given a divine object, I have no idea what it does, but if it in any way affects the undead or vampiric abilities, I don't know. Yeah, it might help. Anything can help.
I'll do what I can.
We have several options right now, but no good options.
It's almost like I'm an asshole who did that on purpose.
Yeah, that weird.
It can be
God.
simple, can it?
You guys, it's quickly nighttime, and Karthna, amidst all the chaos, you remember you said you'd meet someone at nighttime. You're not sure. You could probably reschedule. Given everything going on, it might be helpful. Gross does return. Does a sort of check-in when he first comes back in of like, is it good? Am I good to come back?
This fucking guy.
You know what?
Is
you're not saying no.
Is it ever good? Is it ever good?
We're on a good thing.
I'm gonna be
I
honest
think
with you.
I was going to say I think I add a little extra flair to your life and keep things interesting. But no, you continue. I don't mean to put words into your figurative mental mouth. Just pull up
I
the
call
artwork.
you Grass.
You can call me whatever you want, darling.
Jesus fucking Christ.
Your tone. I actually need to go see someone else at the moment. If you could go do your own thing, I will come and see you and talk to you tonight.
Man, I can't believe we're already growing so distant. I can't believe I'd missed the good old days. Fine.
Do you consider it distant that I'm coming to see you? I don't come to see you. Take it as
okay,
a new
you're right.
start of
It's
our
the next step. You're right. I'm so sorry. I'm not used to these mortal mindsets. Oh, it's so fun, so small. I like it. Okay. So we okay. I'll see you later tonight. He saunters on out of your mind. And again, this is him, the artwork I just pulled up. With the lavish hair.
the locks.
The flowing gold. It's not golden, but yeah. But yeah.
Oh.
Yep.
Yeah, in the conversation with everyone else, Kay would have told everyone about meeting with Mina Lee. She wouldn't have asked if people would have wanted to come, but she would have told them what time she's going to be at the cafe with me. So.
And you guys are
You're
all
going
in
to
her
see me?
bedroom right now. Just putting that out there, so.
Mina asked to come see you?
She asked me to go see her.
Seems fine. I mean, she seems like a wonderful person. I share it.
I
mean, would you want some company
Fucking
over there?
take inspiration, Aspirin. I almost called you
already have it.
Aspirin.
Aspirin.
I can't believe I
that's
didn't think of
amazing
that before.
That's the first time that's happened.
I know,
so
that is
that's
incredible. I'm putting that in my pocket for later. Greta's gonna call you Aspirin.
Forever.
Watch Astrid stab Greta. Anyway.
Yes. I mean,
BV and Aspirin.
God.
I wouldn't be upset if you were there, maybe not right with me, but around in case I might need support. I would appreciate that. It's not that I don't think Mina Lee is an okay person. I don't ever feel like I can fully trust her, knowing that what she does is journalism. I understand.
Why can't you trust her? She seems completely fine to me. She seems like an upright student. Almost said citizen. That's not quite right.
Can Kay roll can I roll an insight?
Yeah, go for it. You're gonna have it
Astrid to
Astrid distrusts every
trust
human being on the
someone
planet. Yeah. Go
so
for it.
much.
Go
She's
Success.
Yes.
Go for it.
She's very persistent when she wants her like story doesn't really back down. I don't
22?
know about.
Yeah,
I forgot.
Astron's being fucking weird. Like, Astron's being fucking weird. Yeah.
Kay's gonna like take a minute because in her head now she like trusts Mina Lee even less now, and not even for the reasons why she does, but she's like, what did she do to you?
So for
Kay's
chat,
just gonna
it looks like we have a first-time chatter. So this our player was essentially mind-controlled into really liking this person. So everyone failed like wisdom saves and stuff to remember that. But they're picking up on how this character who doesn't trust anyone is like, she's awesome. So yeah,
Perfectly fine. I don't know what the problem is.
yeah.
Kay's going to kind of just look at Astrid.
She's
Wait,
just smiling.
I know
pleasantly.
sometimes it might be hard for me to understand. Sarcasm? Are you being sarcastic, Astrid? Are you being serious?
No, why would I be sarcastic about this? She seems completely fine. I trust her.
I hate
Have
that you're
you
doing
ever
this, and I
said that
love
about
that you're doing this.
anyone else?
I mean, I trust you guys too, but that's about it.
But you trusting us, but why do you trust Mina Lee so inherently?
Would player question, would
Quintilius trusts her. And you trust Quintilius. He's your friend, just like everyone else here.
okay, I couldn't remember if
Nope,
a
it's
reason
just
would've been
it's just
put in.
that simple, is that Quintilius trusts him,
Okay.
her, and you trust Quintilius just as much as you trust everyone else in this room.
Yeah,
And
I
was
mean-
Astrid, did she specifically say not trusting Mina Lee? It just all of a sudden is now? Or was there ever a time that...
there was. I just don't
Okay.
think Mina Lee mattered.
Okay, just want to double check.
No, Mina Lee just didn't.
Yeah, that's
matter.
why Kay is confused. Because Kay is like,
It's
when
still
have you
strange.
hung out with Mina Lee?
It's
Yeah.
still strange, no matter what.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, Quintilius trusts her, and I trust him. So
Weren't you suspicious
What-
of Quintilius?
what-
though?
What does
Was I?
Well,
Quintilius have to do with Mina Lee?
That was weird. You're being weird.
friends. Why am I being weird? What did I do?
You think you trust everybody, and then you like trust people. I'm so confused. Are you even Astrid?
Yes, I'm Astrid. Why wouldn't I be?
I don't know anymore. I don't know what's going on.
Astrid's just starting to look genuinely confused.
I mean, to be fair, from Astrid's perspective, Astrid is actually being very vulnerable and finally telling her friends that she trusts them. And they are all accusing her of not being Astrid.
In her mind, she's like, I'm not doing that again.
Yeah, so it's like conceal don't feel wall is going back up, guys. Like, you guys
no.
fucked
Oh.
this up.
Ah!
She's like,
Yeah, no, I could feel that as it happened.
What do you mean I'm being weird?
I'm
just
confessing
telling
I
the
care about
truth.
people.
Just telling
Never
the
been this
truth.
trusting straight out the bat.
I will keep my thoughts more to myself then.
Kay is going to realize that this went very badly. Like at this moment, she's realizing how badly this went, and she's actually going to just straight up hug Astrid, not even just straight like hand on arm or anything.
She kind of flinches a little bit, but she'll let you.
I'm sorry, Astrid. As she's hugging her, Kay says, I trust you. I trust you very much, and it means a lot that you trust me as well.
Of course. I don't know what I said wrong, but I apologize.
Kay's gonna let go of her and tell her, you don't have to apologize for anything. You didn't say anything wrong. That was a very wrong reaction to a situation. I think we're all just on edge and confused.
Confused about what?
Maybe who to trust. I think me and my mistrust of Mina Lee, I pushed that onto you, and I'm sorry.
You didn't do anything wrong. You don't need to apologize.
Neither did you. See?
That was a very good backpedal. I gave you inspiration already, didn't I? Deja. Yeah. Well, now you have it because that was a good role play backpedal in character. That was very well done. And Alexa, you already have inspiration, but good job.
Thank you. Astrid still is gonna look confused, but like there's gears turning in her head, but it's like gears are turning, but she doesn't know what the gears are, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
She wouldn't. But
You're sure having thoughts, man.
there's
Those
stuff
thoughts are
happening,
sure
but I don't know what it
happening.
is. But she'll be quieter now, as if she wasn't already. But
That's fine, only breaking my heart a little bit. I mean, I set this up. I did this, but still. So you guys going you're going to the fire jolt?
Uh-huh.
We'll find
To
a bush
meet
to
the
wait
trustworthy, not trustworthy.
She's super
You know.
trustworthy. I don't know what you're talking about, guys. You
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
guys are so
100%.
mean about her. Let me realize I have some stuff on the wrong layer of this map. Sorry, that implies that like it's gonna be a problem. It's not. Ignore that. It's just I realized
Hello?
something. No, I just I have like on rooms you can't look into. I have it covered, and I was like trying to figure out how I wanted to go about that. Okay, you guys arrive at Fire Jolt. Let me move you over. The place is closed at this point. It's probably about 11 at night. And as you come in, Mina sees you and... sorry, I'm on the wrong layer, I guess. No. Maybe I did have that on the... What layer? Sorry, everything's a lie, nothing's real. Okay, we will put that there. Shit. Well, I'm obviously having trouble with this little square in the top right corner, but other than that, to back. What the? We're just not going to use that room right now. We were going to be in that room. We're not in that room. You guys are in the back room, back here where Mina Lee is, sitting by the fire as she kind of lets you guys in when, or correction, you would come in because you have a key. And you meet her back there, and when she sees the rest of the gang, sorry, the rest of the gang is following, right? Or are they just sort of staying like outside the building?
I was gonna offer, because I have invisibility, I can cast it on 2 people and concentrate it on if we want some secrecy of people going in or not.
Astrid would volunteer for that due to her sneaking ability.
Mm.
And
Should we have 2
Rise is
people
gonna,
or just...
Rise is gonna be like, I don't know if I should be the sneaky one, considering I've just kind of blipped twice randomly.
rolls have
So
been
I
so
think I'm
good.
just gonna wait outside, okay?
Alright.
Just like as she's being sneaky, and all of a sudden, Polaris decides to visit her. She's like,
It's
in the
like,
middle
hey,
of
I
the
found
place.
the mace. Oh shit, is this a bad time?
Yes.
Oopsie. Now I'm gonna
Like
have
the
him pop in
parent,
the
like,
middle of a
closing the
fucking
door.
fight. I'm doing it. It's
Okay,
gonna happen.
perfect.
It's like, oh, I just wanted to check in on my little girl. Oh no!
Oh,
Why
shit,
are you in
close the
death
door.
saves?
Oh,
Okay.
alright. So Edie will cast invisibility on Astrid and herself.
Astron's still gonna be like, I don't know why we're going in to listen in, but I'm happy to help if you feel
But
it
I love my
necessary.
friends committing crimes, man.
I'm never gonna say no to crimes. That's the one constant.
I trust her, but I trust crime more.
Like, I mean, you can never be too safe.
You can never commit too many crimes.
That's gonna be the day when it gets real bad. When Astron's like, I don't feel like committing crimes
Like,
anymore.
who are
Like,
you?
I don't think I need these knives anymore. What the fuck?
Definitely not Astrid.
This is a doppelganger.
Incredible. So
This is Mark.
oh my god, with a C.
Just one.
Get this thing.
You guys head inside. Ryza, you just like act like you're sitting on a bench nearby, like reading or whatnot.
Pretending to play music that's
Yeah,
clearly
okay.
not playing music.
Roll me a fucking performance then. We're gonna see how convincing this is.
Incredible.
Isn't the cafe like
Yeah,
completely like closed? and
it's like
empty?
it's like 11:30. It's sometime around midnight. Like it might be 1 a.m. It might be 11. We don't know.
Oh, fuck yeah. 20 with mods.
Oh fuck yeah, you're fucking jamming. You're obviously out here playing music because if you were back closer to anywhere else, like it might keep people awake and it's late and you want to study and practice. Totally makes sense. Totally makes sense. Silly Prismari kids, right? Artists.
Oh man.
I was kind of hoping I would roll like a 1 just
I
to
was
like
really
entertain
wanting
them.
it. I was really wanting. You're like doing it with your voice, like you're like I'll pretend instead of like actually. Okay.
Like you're not fit. You're not.
I love that
Not
you're
fooling
not a
anybody.
bard, but like I've never met someone who rolls this well at playing instruments, like in any game.
Incredible.
Okay, but you come on inside, and Mina sees you and ushers you back into one of the study rooms in the back. That actually, as I look at it, I'm pretty sure they're playing D&D on that table. Like I think there's a DM screen and like player sheets around the table. But again, this map is from the Strixhaven Discord server, so I did not make it, but the person who did was very skilled. So she brings you into that room and kind of ushers you further in to sit at the table. I figured this is a private space. Are you okay talking here? I'll pull up her artwork.
Sure.
Sorry. Do the rest of you follow into that room? Or are you guys like lurking out of sight around a corner?
Is there a way to like be nearby and still hear?
Yeah,
while
I
not
mean,
getting in the room,
again,
or-
that's why I opened the map. Is you can, if you hold down your mouse and click in an area, it'll ping. So you can be like, I'm standing here. We don't need our tokens out proper because moving them around might be a pain. But you can ping the map and tell me. So yeah, this is a little like lip here with a curtain that can be pulled closed. And it looks like Mina is getting ready to pull the curtain closed. So you might be able to listen in, but you won't be able to see anything unless you step inside before she closes the curtain.
I think it might be better to be right outside the curtain.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, say you guys are at like these corner spots, like
Yeah.
Okay,
peeking
yeah.
through a little fold in the curtain or whatnot.
Mhm.
As soon as the curtain closes, you hear nothing coming from inside.
I knew it.
Oh.
Evie,
No.
you are very acutely aware that it seems like these curtains are enchanted with the silence spell. Of course,
Sort of good.
Kaerthana doesn't know anything's happened. And Mina sits down opposite Kaerthana. I just wanted to say sorry again for what happened. It's terrible, but that Laurel put you on the spot like that. I also want to apologize, just if you ever felt like you couldn't trust me. I'm so sorry that me being a journalist got in the way of our friendship. That's the last thing I ever wanted, Kaerthana.
You don't have to apologize, Minali. I didn't mean to make you feel like something that you do, both that brings you joy and is a passion of yours, is a reason that we can't be friends. It's just not something that I was sharing with really anyone.
But it still was a reason why you felt like we couldn't be as close of friends. I want you to know that I try to uncover the truth because it helps people. If it doesn't help someone, I'm not going to share it. You'd be surprised at how good I am at keeping secrets. Outside, you can tell that a conversation is happening. Do you want to try to figure out? Do you want to try to dispel magic? Do you want to...
That's what I was gonna ask. If
If
dispel
it's
magic
prepared,
happen without it, I have it prepared. But would it be obvious that something was dispelled?
it depends on if there's another spell on the thing to notify if something was dispelled, right? But theoretically, it should be fine. The only way to know for sure is if you cast Identify Magic to see if there are multiple spells, and then cast Dispel Magic.
Identify is only ritual. That's not gonna be good. There's gonna be too much time to
Sorry,
pass.
I said Identify. I meant Detect Magic.
Or detect. Either way, they're both ritual.
I believe Detect Magic is an action.
But I have it as ritual.
Only
'cause
as a
it's not
ritual.
Prepared.
Okay. Yep. So you could
Maybe-
waste and miss 10 minutes of the conversation.
Maybe good. Contact Ryza over the like communication goes like, hey, can you make it does it have
You are
to be
unable
verbal?
to
Can I-
contact her. As you try to reach out to
God.
Ryza, you are unable to contact her. She does not exist while you try to contact her.
What do you?
What were you contacting her with?
Sending Stone.
That is not.
Would Evie have said anything about this to Astrid?
I mean, we're right outside. She probably would have like. She probably would like tap the leg and do like an X on her leg. Maybe like put up the stone to her leg, like no stone.
Astrid will do the telepathy thing with Evie. And just be like, what do you need?
Can't contact Ryza.
Wait, you're invisible. How did you get Astrid's attention?
I was tapping.
Okay.
Okay.
Roll a stealth check for me.
She's primary. Oh. I might want to use. Oh, I have inspiration.
That is a 10. Do you choose to use your inspiration?
I fear so. Yes.
what a quote. I fear so, yes.
I'm gonna do that.
What a mood.
That is
That's a natural one.
Mina jerks her head to the side as she hears knocking outside the curtains. You also hear
Tapping
it
on
somewhat.
her leg?
Yeah, that was what she was saying, tapping like on Astron's leg.
Oh, on Astron's fucking leg. I'm sorry. I
Yes.
thought you were. Okay. I will say, you can't see Astron, so you're still having to move around and try to find her.
Fuck.
So, you do still kind of smack the curtain by accident when you're trying to tap Astron. Again, you have advantage because you are. Oh no, you have advantage because you're invisible. Roll again. You have one more roll.
Okay.
I'm so sorry. That's on me. I apologize. You're invisible. 17. You're fine. You tap
Okay.
Astron. No,
Oh,
it's Mina rolled really low. She was at an 11. So I was like, this is so painful. You should succeed this. But yeah, so you tap the curtain and you see it move for a second and your heart just stops. But then luckily you bump into Astron. So now you can connect. Apologies.
Yeah, so Astron will just do the telepathy thing and be like, what do you need?
I can't contact Ryza. I'm trying to see if maybe she can make a distraction so one of us can get in there.
Right, Ryza?
Is it because Ryza's outside, right?
Yes.
Yeah, that's fine.
Wait, what kind of distraction do you need?
Somebody to get someone to open the curtain.
Okay.
So that one of us can like slip by. So maybe
Okay.
to check on the disturbance.
Astron can contact Ryza at the same time. I can contact up to 3.
Go for it. You can also try to contact Kaerthana.
I will attempt that first, actually.
You are unable to contact Kaerthana.
Oh no.
Not these barriers she set up.
Fuck. So yeah, she'll contact Ryza. Ryza, can you hear me?
Rise is playing. She's like, oh no, not this again. And she's like, oh.
No, Ryza, it's me, Astron.
Oh, hey, sorry, got a little nervous there.
I'm sorry, the sending stones are not working, so this was Plan B. We
That's weird. Okay, what's up?
We need help. Apparently there is enchantment on the room that they went in, and we can't hear anything, we can't see anything, and we can't contact. Hey, can you cause a distraction to make them come out of the room?
Distraction.
Just anything you want that'll get them out.
Oh, okay. I can see what I can do. Okay.
Okay. We're right outside the doorway. It's a curtain, it's not the door, but we're right outside, invisible.
Okay. So, in relation to the map, where is that?
They are on the opposite side from the entrance.
So you're in here?
There are side
Oh, you're
doors,
over here.
but
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. So Rise is gonna sit there and she's like, well, I guess I'll just do what I do best.
Oh my god.
Arms for Ocarina. Is this establishment open? Did we?
No,
Sorry,
it is
did I notice
closed.
that? So it's closed. Okay. Rise is gonna. I think Rise is first gonna walk towards the cafe, still playing her music. She's gonna progressively get louder and louder as she approaches. And then is at the
Okay.
point she starts blasting music and then starts writing a song or improving a song about Mina Lee. I'm trying to distract her, right? That's the...
Yeah, roll
Yeah.
a dexterity saving. Nope, a strength saving throw for me.
Oh.
Thanks,
No.
bro.
Oh
Mhm.
my god.
This should be 11.
All of a sudden your legs are taken out from underneath you. And you feel a heavy blow hit you in the chest and slam you to the ground. The strength is insane. I need you to roll a constitution saving throw.
Everything's going downhill so fast.
Can Evie and Astron hear the music part?
Yeah, and then it abruptly stops.
Fuck. 4.
Oh.
You are unconscious.
Awesome.
But
I did my part, guys.
Riza, can you hear me?
Yeah, no response.
No, she's sleeping.
The front door opens.
Oh fuck.
And you
Some
see someone walk in with Riza in their arms, being carried bridal style.
Oh
no. Of course, Carathana doesn't see this. But the rest of your group see a figure in all too familiar armor. An Auric agent.
Awesome.
They set Riza, so on the map, they walk right past where you guys are and the curtain. And they walk into the back lounge area, and they lay Riza down on this couch. You then watch them pull out a potion from their bag and pour it into Riza's mouth. The potion looks to be a healing potion. If you want to stop them, now's your chance, but it looks to be a healing potion.
Oh, everything's good. Oh.
Can I try something?
Yes.
While still invisible, can I sneak up behind them and have the coin in my hand that the Witherbloom dragon gave me?
Yes.
And I can't see any exposed skin. It's all armor,
You
correct?
cannot see any exposed skin. Correct.
Is there a spot where I'd be able to like dropping it down under their shirt through the neckline or something?
Unfortunately, all of that is this purple fire. Like the artwork. You do know from past experience and from what your friends have said that you can pry off the mask of an Auric agent and it will remove the spell. But the mask is magically adhered to their face. It will be a dexterity or strength save to remove it.
And then the spell
Or Arcana, arguably. But yeah, any action you take will end your spell. On
But
you. I will like to point out, Evie will still have the spell on her.
Would the purple fire on their face be equivalent to their skin?
In this case, you do not know. You can roll an Arcana.
I would like to attempt that.
Go for it.
As poor as it is with
No,
me.
you're good. Go for it. That is a 17. You do not believe it will count as their skin. It might be able to dispel the suit around them, but even then, they'll still be having a mask on. So unless they're like completely not this shape, you'll probably still not know who it is, right? It just no longer has the purple flame and any distortion to their shape, right?
Mhm.
So think of it as like shorting out the magic of the suit, but the suit will stay on. So I guess it will work, but it might not give you all the answers you want. Right?
Fuck, I'm trying to think quickly.
You're good. Again, you saw...
Question.
Yes.
Did I hear any
You
of
hear
this?
none
Any
of
of the
this.
music, the door
You hear
opening?
none of
Okay, great.
this.
Thank you.
Apparently, the curtain's silenced.
Both ways. Okay.
Mhm. Well, no. Roll me a check with disadvantage. Because technically Mina still had an opportunity to hear them right outside the curtain. So there's still a little bit of muffled sound. So perhaps the guy walking by carrying her might have triggered stuff. So roll with disadvantage, a perception check.
The music?
Perception. Yeah, or the music. But the music was outside, so less likely. But okay. I have a D8 is not going to do it. Unfortunately, DC would have been 15. You do have inspiration if you'd like to use it. I told you what the DC is, but you may want to save it for later.
I'm going to hold on to that. I'm feeling antsy about this.
Alexa, are you going to do anything? If not, they're going to give Ryza this potion.
I'm reading a spell instruction to make sure I'm not getting this wrong in a second.
You're good. You can also ask the spell, and I'm willing to help. I'm not one to sabotage you preemptively. Counterspell. Which I could do. That one actually...
Yeah, counterspell that counterspell.
I actually could do that one. I'm not going to, but I could. We're at high enough levels now that people have counterspell, including you guys. So...
if I were to use Ray of Frost, could it freeze an object that it hits?
Yes. I'll allow that.
Can I aim it at
the bottle?
The bottle / hand holding the bottle?
Yeah. Roll to hit. The armor class is just going to be a 10.
Okay. I have to do it manually because it won't let me.
You're totally fine because I still haven't put it in for your character after all these months. Yeah, you're good.
It says D20 plus 6.
Yeah. So statistically, you should be fine. I said that, so I'm so sorry ahead of time.
You just dispel the curtain.
Yeah, you can technically just dispel the curtain.
At this point,
that is a 1. Your invisibility. Hold on. You have inspiration. Do you wish to use it?
Yes, I would very much.
Okay. Before I say the result.
Give me a second.
I really wanted to use that because that.
It's a 9.
Sorry, you rolled a 3.
My spells never work.
They never do. It's devastating.
It's way too consistent.
I know it's consistently inconsistent. It's terrible.
Wait. Does nope, never mind. That's for something else.
You shoot the spell, turning perfectly visible, half Skyrim squatting in the middle of the room, pointing at the bottle. It flies off and hits a painting on the far wall, sending it sort of spinning around the nail. So the orc agent just looks at the painting, then looks over at you. And then you just hear,
well, I'm happy you joined us. Come on, sit down.
And then they uncork the bottle and pour it into Ryza's mouth. Ryza, you are awake. Full hit points. You just hear,
sorry about that. I just couldn't have you making a scene, and that was the quickest way to get you in here. So hold on just one moment, okay? I'll be right back. Don't go anywhere, okay? Don't go anywhere. So then
the figure goes over and opens the curtains. So in the middle of Mina being like, I'm your friend, you see an orc agent just open the curtains. Look straight at Mina and be like,
okay, so I know you wanted to do this better than this. I get that. But again, her friends came, which isn't a problem. You expected that. But I might have impulsively decked one. So,
that'd be me.
Yeah, I gave them a healing potion, but I think they should be part of this conversation. Yeah.
Mina just looks like she's about to have a vein pop on the side of her head.
Oh my god.
She lets out a sigh of just deep-seated frustration, looks over to Kareth and be like, well, I guess it's easier to just say it now, but I was going to ask if you wanted to join us, or if at the very least I could help you get out to deal with your sister. But now we just look like the bad guys, now don't we? She says, gritting her teeth at this orc agent. So, please don't go anywhere, Karethna. These curtains have silence on them. There's an anti-magic field in this room, so anything in this room can't get out. So it's very secure, I promise. Will you sit and talk? I won't keep you here if you don't want to, but please hear us out. We can help you get off campus.
Upon like the whole situation, Kay is taking it all in, and she sees that she sees her friends are okay.
The other orc agent, by the way, definitely has each of you by the scruff. Like, one is Ryza by the scruff, one is Astron by the scruff.
Evie's just on the wall, like, crawling.
Yeah, Evie's just like...
yeah. So she sees that they're both okay. She sees that Evie is not.
You don't
still,
see Evie.
Uncovered. Exactly. She still doesn't see Evie. And she kind of just looks back at Mina Lee and she starts to laugh, kind of hysterically. And she has that thing usually that happens when Kay laughs, where she has bubbles that have smoke inside of them that kind of just pop everywhere.
A flump
and
comes into existence and then goes away immediately. Yeah, I getcha.
After screaming, yes. And she kind of just looks at Mina Lee and says, maybe this isn't the best time to feel good about a gut feeling, but I knew there was something about the way I felt about you. And sometimes it just feels good to be right, even when you didn't know you were right. At this point,
she looks a little hurt by that, but can't help but nod. She's like, yeah.
She can also, Mina Lee could probably also notice, this is Kay a bit unhinged. It's been a day. She has a demon in her head. Her friend got to meet an angel, and now she just figured out that this person that she's been feeling kind of weird about because she thought it was because of the journalism, it's actually because of the orc. So she is teetering.
Right on the edge of wild magic is what I'm hearing.
Yes. Yes, which is why we're having some bursts.
I'm so hoping you do Fireball centered on self, personally. But
why do you want
because it has to happen at least once, and you now have enough hit points to survive. But theoretically.
Theoretically.
But yeah.
He says.
The Auric agent pushes you guys into the room. A little forcefully. Mina gives them a are you shitting me look? Like a really? Did I it's very much so this is the idiot of the group kind of look, right? You can tell Mina's this close to losing her shit. This is very clearly not how this was supposed to go down.
Mina Lee, what are you doing here?
Just shut up and sit down. We don't need to pretend to do stuff, Astron. Sit down.
Ryza's gonna look over.
I told you we could trust her.
Mina will give Astron a side eye and then let out an even bigger sigh and be like, okay. My guess is our mind mage was discovered, and probably Astron put together that I was part of this too, and he
don't remember this.
They probably made you not remember this, and probably made you trust me a little too much. So
at that, Kay is just gonna look at the mind mage. And she's starting to put things together. She thinks she is. Again, unhinged. But the whole conversation earlier where Astrid was just like, I trust Quintelius, so I trust Minaline.
Mm-hmm.
And Kay is just like, this is fun.
So, Mina gives you like a side eye of like, doesn't seem fun. And then goes back to the other orc agent. Just step inside, I'm sure. Look, did anyone else come with you? Just genuinely, this isn't a trap or anything like that. We want to talk, and it's not safe unless we're all in this room because this room blocks out magic from the outside.
And we have somebody else with us. Tester trusts her.
Wow, that mind mage puts in work. Astrid, who else is here?
Is Evie able to
friend
still
Evie.
communicate? Okay.
Yeah, the curtain is open.
Is Evie probably or is the communication with the mind still there? Or
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
she would have said, "Don't mention me, don't mention me, don't mention me, don't mention me."
I don't know if they're still there. They might have left. I can't see them.
Oh my god! You say you can't see
They're
them?
invisible, so yeah.
Then
Oh my God.
Mina's gonna look out into the room and be like, Evie, I know you're the only one who can cast invisibility in this group.
Shit.
You don't know that. She don't know that.
You're the only one with enough arcane knowledge.
I'm sorry.
Come
Astrid,
along,
trust me
Evie.
to leave.
She doesn't know 100% sure I'm here. I'm not leaving my spot.
Evie, we're gonna close the curtain and you're gonna lose out on the entire conversation. So much knowledge is gonna happen. We're gonna take off that person's mask. She points at the orc agent standing there. You're gonna lose all the juicy gossip and just hear it from your friends. I know you're not one for gossip, but you are one for information.
Does Evie know when she takes a step foot in the anti-magic, her invisibility is gonna go away?
You don't know. You only know there's a silence spell. And she said there's an
she said there is-
anti-magic.
Run.
She said
Yeah.
it. You don't know.
Run, Evie. Run.
But knowledge.
No! It's Evie's biggest weakness.
Hold on.
Not knowledge.
Hold on. She still has.
The
she can
orc
still use.
agent turns around and looks out into the room. Evie, come on. Sorry, wrong. Didn't put on the voice.
Evie, come on. Into the room. It's fine.
She's gonna. Okay, she's gonna walk in. If her invisibility goes off, she's gonna like.
It immediately goes away the
Right.
second you step over the threshold.
She's gonna like cross
Which
her
is why I
arms.
really wanted you guys to step in there right at the beginning, because talk about the whole plan going up immediately.
Emerson,
Cross her arms
Fuck
in
the
the corner
voice!
and not look
Shit!
at anyone.
Oh, well, my mouse was hovering over the correct one, so it was highlighted like it was clicked on. So I'm like, oh, good. Fuck.
Sorry, were you saying fuck the voice in the voice?
Fuck the voice. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
she's gonna come in, arms crossed, sit on the floor, be very grumpy, not look at anyone.
There's a chair, Evie.
No. Fine.
Designated floor time.
Flutters up to the chair and huffs in like that ball way that owls can when they're like cold or angry.
Nah,
Trying to make
she ain't
themselves
using
look
that
bigger
chair.
in front of a predator, you know?
Nah, she ain't using that chair. It's floor time, baby.
She's perching on the arm of Astrid's chair. Or the back of. Okay, sorry.
I'm sorry, Evie.
Don't be
They're
sorry.
quite
Look,
grumpy.
look. Mina puts up her hands. This is about trust. I know that sounds hard to believe, but we're coming
But
to
said
you out
someone
of
messed with my
trust.
mind.
I know that was out of survival. Look,
But then what am I missing?
you're missing the identity of our mind mage, which unfortunately I'm not going to tell you tonight. None of my team know the identity except me, and that's for security reasons. You must understand, I wanted to come to you a long time ago, but we have to be very careful about who we approach. We approach the wrong people and our entire operation is blown, even with the mind mage. So, again, I didn't want to reach out until I thought that you all would potentially understand where we're coming from. Caerthna, when Valamarcus did what they did, I finally realized that I might have been holding out for too long. You've been wronged by the school and you see what they are. You also understand why they exist and why they think they're in the right. But you also see the way that their callousness hurts people. So, I was going to reach out to you, just you, because I figured that was probably the safest way to go. Earn your trust, and then we can meet with everyone else, and it won't be a conflict. She eyes the orc agent at the word conflict. Again, I'm sorry, Ryza. She gets a little carried away sometimes. Especially as this one. Look, we can help you get out of the school. We've gotten our agents and whatnot in and out before, and we have a means to help cover for you in class, at least for a few days. Care to show them? The orc agent steps into the room. As they step past the edge, the magic of their mask flickers out and flickers back for a moment. When it flickers out, you can tell that they're a good 2, maybe 3 feet shorter than they appear normally. Probably a dwarf. And then they flicker back to the normal height of a human. Once they're inside, they reach up to their mask and remove it. As they pull off their mask, the auric full armor dissolves, and it reveals a woman you know.
You knew it.
Sorry about that. I just, again, sometimes I don't know my own strength. And I'm happy you joined us, BV. I really am.
That's not their name.
I know, as you say that, Mina says back, that's not their name. And you know it's not their name. Greta lets out her laugh. And Mina says, please, for the love of all that is holy, let's drop this, okay? Greta suddenly slumps her shoulders in a very non-Greta way. And then you hear in a very deep kind of androgynous tone, fine, but I don't like it. And you watch as Greta's skin and clothes begin to boil. She folds in on herself and begins to shift and change until a different being is standing before you.
Well,
I'm sorry. I consider myself a method actor.
is an understatement.
It's a great character, Greta. I apologize. I know your name is Evie, but Greta doesn't. Greta thinks it's Beevy. Just like how she thinks your name is Aspirin.
I hate you.
Nothing Greta is a
Do not
bitch.
hate me. Hate Greta. Yes, see, Greta has this difficult dynamic with her self-worth. It's a very intriguing character. I haven't played a role like that in quite a while, really. You see, she's Very compelling. She has this older brother, you see. And then Mina holds up a hand. Please, Vuga, not right now. Vuga, apparently, kind of bows their head and with a squelch gives a shrug. I'm sorry again. I will talk about my passion projects till the stars fade and the sun rises.
Very dramatic.
At the same time, both Vuga and Mina says, they're an actor. I'm an actor.
Okay.
Vuga here is a changeling. And a rather talented one at that.
No shit.
Vuga's been posing as Greta on campus. Well, for the entirety of Greta being on campus. But that doesn't mean that Vuga can't pose as Kaerthina and buy you a little bit of time showing up on campus here and there so that the faculty doesn't know you've ran off. Theoretically, we can keep it going indefinitely if we get schedules correct. Mixing Greta's, yours, and of course everyone else from your group, we can at least make everyone be seen every day. It should, I'd say, buy you at least, if we're lucky, a week to deal with your sister before the school closes in. At worst, I'd say 2 to 3 days.
At this point in the conversation, maybe a little bit before, some of the unhinged energy has settled out of Kay. She's kind of seeming to come, like, trying to, like, soothe.
She's gone
self-soothe
from
and calm.
pop rock sounds to, like, bubble sounds.
Yes. And also, because once the part of her brain that was like, this would happen, of course, in the same day, started to fade away as she focused less on that, started to focus on mind mage. Like, how often has this happened? Why is there a piece of me that didn't trust Mina Lee? And knowing that this conversation, if it doesn't go the way they want, that she might not remember it, she knocked on that door in her head. And that's all she did. Outwardly, like, nobody noticed, but she knocked on the Gross door.
Yeah. He's fucking opening it. Yeah. You get the, oh, is this an invite? I thought you were going to visit me. Your communication skills, darling. We've got to work on. Oh, something is happening. I'll be quiet, I promise.
Yeah, she lets him settle, and all she says is, I need you to listen to this in the event that I don't remember it.
Ooh.
Nothing else.
Oh. I promise I'll tell the truth. He says in a tone that makes you think he won't. But yeah.
Mm-hmm. Again, it's all that she has to really hope for right now. So, she looks at Mina Lee, and she just says, and what exactly are you hoping to accomplish in this time that we're gone?
It's quite simple. Honestly, I'm sure you're aware that an Elder Dragon has kind of declared war on us. With you gone, eventually, the college is going to find out that you've left. Then, the resources of the college will be divided. They'll start ramping up trying to catch you and stop your sister. And Valamakis Lorehold, who actively baited you into action, will probably feel at least partially responsible, and, if I am to guess, will probably act in some way. I'm betting on that, because that will be our only opening to deal with her spire. You guys, for lack of a better term, are the only distraction we have, save going up against Valamakis directly, and we'll die if we do that. I'm being completely honest. We want to help you. I want you to save your sister. And I do think we can buy you a week. But they will find out eventually. And when they do, I have to... Well, it's an opportunity. I hate to be so analytical about it, but it's the only one we have. Divided attention. I also, honestly, just would like you all to join us, and figured the best way to prove that I mean business is to help you the best way I can, and very clearly put myself and my organization in danger to do so. They could catch us. They could catch my changeling. And if they do, that agent's gone, and for obvious reasons, Boga is a very helpful agent. If you haven't guessed, I'm in charge of the Strixhaven cell. The infiltration cell, if you will. There could be others on campus, but if there are, I don't know of them. And don't stress, no one else here has interacted with anyone other than me. And I'm the only one who's interacted with anyone higher up. Plausible deniability and all. Well, and the Mind Mage, but that's because the Mind Mage can manipulate, well, their mind.
Your Mind Mage is a student here.
I don't know. I genuinely mean that. I don't know who my Mind Mage is. They'll remind me occasionally, but as soon as they leave my presence, they will make me forget.
If we do this, I need your Mind Mage to do something. I don't know how you're going to make that happen, but you're going to make it happen.
I have a way to get in contact with them. What is it? Ask and you shall receive. I know that sounds so convoluted, but again, I want you as an ally, but even beyond that, I do consider you a friend, Carathina. She'll, grab your hand and give it a squeeze.
The only person besides you and your changeling, Luga, who know that we're going to be leaving is Tabash, and I want your Mind Mage to erase it from his brain.
Easy.
In the event that Vellamacheth questions professors who are close to us, he will be the only one who knows something.
That's quite smart. I don't see how we can't make that happen. Consider it already done. Unless, she puts up a hand, you want me to hold off on having the Mind Mage do it until a certain time?
Yes. Until we leave.
Very well. When you leave, we will enact our plan. There's well, it's not pretty, but there's a path into the Underdark underneath Central Campus. It's your only way in and out that isn't monitored. It's believed to be sealed off, but we found it. And, well, they don't think students would be dumb enough to go through the Underdark. The route is actually remarkably safe. You just have to stay on the route, obviously. It's about a full night's travel until you can breach the surface and board the train, or use whatever form of transport you would like. In your case, I imagine probably a carriage. Or a train to Goldheart and then a carriage. I'm sure your father would love to undermine the... I know your father would love to undermine Strixhaven. He's helped us in the past, and I can reach out to him instead of you so that it doesn't look like you're reaching out and is suspicious to the school if you would like, Astrid. But we can also not involve him, but it would be helpful. His resources are vast.
How much does he help you?
Not much, though he has funded this operation. He paid a good sum for that necrocore you helped us acquire. Or I suppose we helped you acquire. It's what's been keeping us funded for...
So he didn't want the necrocore, you did.
No, he did. He paid us handsomely to help him get it. We were already in a position to do so, and you were his witness, his proof that we were carrying through with our job. I am sorry about Turgrid. He insisted she be present. I hope you know that we do not... She shrugs. I don't know, but I hope you know that we don't enjoy people like that. They're part of the problem that we're trying to fix.
Now.
Are they? Well, maybe we can help you figure that out too. No promises there. They are a demigod, and we're just... Well, I'd say we're students, but we're very clearly more skilled than students, but we're still young, at least. I'm not young, but I can be. You watch as the shape changer transforms into like a 8-year-old girl. And then transforms back. See? I can also be old. Transforms into an old man. Get off my lawn! Transforms
I'm not
back.
against slapping a geriatric.
Mina's like, yes, well, they're part of our team because they couldn't resist the role of a lifetime. And yes, that is all it took for them to join our team.
Why are you on the team, Minali? You talk about how you're unhappy working with Turgrid, but what y'all are trying to do are going to release things that are much, much worse than Turgrid.
Look, you're right there. But it's also going to release some good things as well. But that was more of Aurora's route. And again, she looks at Ryza this time. She's been sort of actively avoiding looking at Ryza. But she looks at you now, kind of grudgingly making eye contact. I'm very sorry for what happened with Aurora. She was a dear friend, but... Unfortunately, we had to make sacrifices, and in this case, it was her memory, for the survival and integrity of the mission. We all knew this going into it, and again, I apologize. But at least...
doesn't accept it.
Yeah, I'm sure she doesn't. But at least she's still alive. If we didn't...
like, yeah, at least.
Look, we're fighting a war here. We have to use guerrilla tactics to do so. Strixhaven is an institution that's been in power for over 3,000 years, led by de facto deities. That's why I'm here. Same thing as our Mind Mage. Well, no, our Mind Mage is here for vengeance. I'm here to topple Strixhaven itself. And the easiest way to do so is to topple the lock that Strixhaven is. Power structure will be shattered, and magical knowledge will be able to be accessed by anyone. You'll be able to, I don't know, ask a god for aid. But at the same time, arcane magic will flow freely through ley lines that have been anchored for millennia here through the locks, and Strixhaven will no longer have a stranglehold. I mean, look at our society. 3,000 years have passed, and our technology hasn't improved. The only place that's improved is Goldheart, and that was only in the last 100 years or so because a man made a deal with a Daemogoth. Again, knowledge not regulated by the school. The school would keep us in the Dark Ages because it keeps them in power. We should be so much more advanced than we are. We're still learning the same things that we learned 3,000 years ago. I mean, the animus equation was solved. And yet they act like it isn't. You think Animo is the first time it's been solved? On a side note, that makes it very clear to you that they know that Animo is part of this. As far as you know, you are the only people who know that.
What about all the innocent students who get caught in the crossfire?
Unfortunately,
Don't start with unfortunately.
I don't know what else you want me to start with, Astrid. War requires sacrifice, and sometimes it's innocence. It's not good, it's not pretty, but if someone doesn't do what is needed, no one will. You can't win a war staying perfect. Someone has to make the bad choices.
And have you really won, if that's what it cost?
Yes.
That's a Pyrrhic victory if I ever heard one.
That's only if it costs too much.
I would say it's too much.
How much?
Hundreds
What is
of
too
lives
much?
that didn't have a choice in the matter.
And what lives are those?
Children.
What lives have we killed?
Children.
Who?
The students.
What students? No student has died by our hand.
They will if you carry on in this form of a plan for what you want. I can see the logic in your end goal. I can. But I see no logic in the way you're going about it.
Then please enlighten me with a new way.
You just gave me your plan. Why would I suddenly have a solution in 2 minutes?
Look, it's easy to criticize, but unless you have a better option, we go with the best plan. And the best plan is to break the seals and topple Strixhaven's power structure.
What were your other options?
I don't know, assassinate all the deans. Which objectively is both harder and a temporary solution. The other would be to kill all of the founder dragons and the deans, which is the only way that you truly get anything done. But even then, how would you go about doing that? You can't. That still also doesn't deal with the fact that all of the magic and ley lines is bound within Strixhaven, within the lock. Magic cannot flow freely. There should be portals to the Feywild in forests and natural areas. There should be Shadowfell crossings in the dark corners of dungeons. Magic is everywhere, and yet do you see it anywhere but this school? Where are the Fey?
That's what I mean. I see your point. But I have trouble agreeing to a plan that endangers hundreds of children.
And that's why we need you to go after your sister. Because it is the best way to make sure people are not in danger when we take out the next spire. Otherwise, it has to happen during a school dance. And that is diabolical if I've ever seen it. And that is 100% Valamarcus's doing.
You are helping us by helping us get off campus for me to potentially save my sister. Does the Auric have any vampiric information, or are you just assuming that I'll be able to do it?
Unfortunately, I don't. I wish I could, and I wish I did. The only person who might is Extus. And Extus is our leader.
I know who he is.
Me and the Mind Mage and I, you'd think as a Silver Quill student I'd be better at grammar, but we're the only ones who have met them. And I'm the one who is in contact with them for orders, but even then, I only receive orders. I never can deliver a message back. And to be completely honest, they give me a relatively free lead to do what I want.
So there'll be no help.
I can't provide something I don't have, Kaerthana. If I could help you in another way, I would. If there's something you want me to do, name it.
I've told you what I need you to do, and this seems like the best option for us. We will be leaving, and unfortunately, our only other option for getting out of the school doesn't help us with us actually disappearing and making it seem like we're at the school. So I am inclined to take your offer. But I want you to know it's not because I agree with you. It's not because I agree with either your methods or your plan. Because where I don't care about this school, I was shipped here and sent against my will. You keep talking about wars as if you know what this next phase is going to look like. You keep talking about casualties and wars and all of this for the greater good. But I want you to know that I'm experiencing firsthand that this idea of a freer world where magic roams free, the war that comes next, you will be a blip. You will be minuscule in that. We all will. And I hope that you understand the repercussions of that.
Change is going to come. The least we can do is have it come on our terms. Or at least as best close to our terms as possible. Honestly, she doesn't know what's going on with you, so honestly, it can't be worse than what it is now. Strixhaven controls everything. At least the other way, there's hope. For every bad guy, there's someone good. Right now, the bad vastly outweighs those who fight for freedom. She gestures at the room when she says that. The fact that children are the only ones taking action, either to stop the school or, I don't know, stop a horrible monster that was unwittingly unleashed underneath a campus, that should show you just how unmatched the forces of good are. Yes, we will be unleashing great evil, but the universe balances itself. And right now, it can't do that.
I believe that you believe that. And I believe that if what you truly want happens, you'll realize how wrong you were. But it'll be too late.
I'm not going to stop trying to convince you to join us. But at the same time, I'm always willing to listen to the opinion of a friend. You don't stop challenging my beliefs either, okay, Kaethina? Only that way can we know for sure that we stand where we truly, stand. I do ask of all of you, though, please keep our existence and our identities a secret. You could end this right here and right now, and no, I can't stop you. But I trust you all. I really do. And I don't think that trust is misplaced, even if you don't end up joining us.
You're asking us to join you and trust you when you've apparently magicked me into doing so, so I don't think it's fair of you to ask such a question of me.
That's fair.
Because now I can't make an educated guess or choice anymore, because that's been taken.
You're
because
right.
I do trust you, but now I'm knowing that that's not real.
I don't know how to fix that. Unfortunately, the Mind Mage works sort of with their own beliefs sometimes. You can tell she's a little frustrated at this. If I could remedy their magic, I would. But only they have that
Can't even
power.
contact him.
I can. But I don't entirely know what you want him to do for you. He can't return memories that are lost. They are truly lost.
He's apparently changed things instead of taking them away. In terms of the trust part.
Something I have encouraged him not to do, and, well, if it's any consolation, I believe you're the only one he's done that with, at least that I'm aware of.
If he's only done it to me, then why would it be so insane to assume he's not done it to anyone else?
No, I agree. I can't even tell if he's done it to me. So, obviously, you are correct.
I would think it's a bad thing to have a wild card in your team.
Yes.
For something so important.
It is, obviously. But he is damn powerful.
Yes, well, maybe I'll consider your words more if you'd speak to him about what he did to my own brain.
I will, I promise.
I don't appreciate it.
That's the most civil response I suppose I deserve. So thank you, and I will...
Trust me, I've almost thrown something at you twice.
Well, I appreciate that you didn't. You know what? I was holding this as a final attempt to convince you, but I think you should meet our final member. Again, there's the Mind Mage, who I can't introduce you to. I'm sorry. But there's a new recruit we have, actually. You see another Auric agent come into the room. They place their hand on the mask and pull it off, and you see the green, stone-like scales of a dragonborn. Of Imagine. And that's where we'll stop our session for today.
That definitely checks out.
Damn it, Jerry.
Damn it.
Yay! Okay, so this is why I really wanted Jerry here for this session, but it's nice. We got a lot to vamp before that, so we're good. We'll pick up there next time. I know, vamp. It was all incredible. Hey! It was all actually very important information and setting up stuff. But yeah, I hope you guys had fun with this session. This was a very important session for setting forward essentially the whole narrative for the game moving forward. A lot of stuff is now out in the light, and now it's just action, 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 and we get to have fun with it. It is rather late, so I'm going to have us hop off. I will not be here next week. Unfortunately, I am going to be out of the state. So we will have no game on the 5th. However, we will be back from this gripping cliffhanger on the 12th. So mark your calendars. We will be back playing on the 12th. Our games start 7:30 Pacific Daylight Time. And yeah, Aston's about to murder Imogene. But yeah. So we will be back Pacific Daylight Time, 7:30 on the 12th. Until then, we look forward to seeing you next time. You can catch up on episodes you've missed on our YouTube, which is linked on our Twitch, or by watching the episodes we currently have on our Twitch. And you can also join our Discord, which is also linked on our Twitch, where we host our game and we chat and post silly memes. And recently we've been playing a lot of Baldur's Gate. But yeah.
And art sometimes.
And we art. So yeah, feel free to join us and have a good one. I hope you have a wonderful evening or whatever time of the day it is where you are. Have a good one.